I'm absolutely fucked. Well, me too. So that's what we're starting with this map. Leg day. I thought they were just giving you hope, but they were giving you a lot more. They were giving you a win.
Capture the objective.
I don't know if I can watch. Me neither, buddy. Me neither. Okay. So generally, what teams will do on this this Oasis map is they'll want to control the high ground, because having your Kree and Ana on the high ground is very, very strong. Generally, if you have your Ana on high ground, she can get very good nades, and having Kree to defender is just like really good. It's like watching the autopsy of a hideous beast. You can every yes, but the start of this match isn't that bad yet. So let's break down how that first fight went. I feel like as this series went on, it went more and more crazy. Okay, so you see J-Mag pushes like way up, gets walled by Stratus, and then I feel like Washington's just in a really good position to punish J-Mag here, who cannot get heals. So this is generally what you want to do with your wall, right? You want a wall so that the enemy backline gets split off from the front line, and the enemy Ryan can get punished by your team. Hope the stream was well. Thank you, Athena. Have a good night. Also, my boy Cleston just said, nope, I'm out of here. He's like, we're getting walled. Nope. Watch this.
Time to raise my APM.
As the team went on, but damn.
Shoot you down.
Hold up now.
Right. And after that, like, that fight is over so quick. Weston gets picked off too because he didn't land on the high ground somehow. But I feel like this map just like went from Justice has this so dominantly to Spitfire starts coming back and takes over the match. That Dorado map, but like the weirdest map in I've ever seen. Absolutely crazy. A side note, on this point, it's really hard to like retake, because all the enemy team has to do is like put their carries high ground and then put their diva on the defensive side of the point, and then the diva can get healed by the Ana who's on high ground, and it's very hard to push him out because Corey can free shoot the team while they're rotating. Generally, that's why you see on this map that stalls get so long, because the point is so big and there's a big pillar in the middle.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Thank you for the follow. Cheers, love.
Routing power to forward shield.
Very London Spitfire take. Cheers, love. We just won the match. I don't know how. But you see how it's very hard for them to push out Elevote here? Hey, Gwynman. Welcome to the stream. See how for London Spitfire it's very hard to push out Elevote here? Because once they commit to this side of the point, then they are in firing range of everyone from the Justice who have high ground. So it's definitely hard to like, do them. I feel like you want to shoot the high ground until Roar's shield break and they have to kind of hide, and then you go on Elevo while you wall the rest of their team, right? That is walls here. I feel like Roar doesn't need to drop here. Like they could stall for even longer. Thank you for the follow, J Overwatch. But, they go for the nano because they get it first. That is dancing with them.
Don't move.
A lot of Stratus get picked here. So one thing I noticed in this match is that Stratus wasn't playing as well as he usually does. And I'm not sure why. He also wasn't as focused on fan interaction as he usually is, which seems very weird, right? Because he spent all these weeks like hyping up the Justice. And And like in other homestands, he was so excited, and then his own homestand, maybe he shut down a little bit. I'm not sure, but he could also be taken aback by yesterday's loss against Philly, I think. Yeah, Philly, I think.
It's time.
Cheers, love. The
But they did
cavalry's
not lose to
here.
Philly. I am confused. Let me know. Aim got dies, but Corey does Corey things. Oh, Paris. Yeah, you're right. Not bad. But yeah, I definitely feel like that could have affected them mentally a little bit. But overall, like, I feel like normally Stratus plays better when he gets there. Still has a P in the name, very true. Martin 40 POV. This is the strength about high ground, right? People have to come into this tier. Need us to like kind of pick his targets. That was a low value. Oh, Clifton. But you see how
Cheers, love. The
this fight's
cavalry's
already been
here.
going for so long. The Justice is already up to 66%, and even though the Spitfire turned it around now because of some sloppy like over pushes from Justice, it's still gonna take them a while to keep this point. Game volume too high. I'll turn it down a little bit. Thank you. There you go. Got a good wall and roar here. And of course, Elevode is dead, so it makes it very hard to like avoid this mail. I do think it's good that Justice like get these ults out, right? Like they're already at 77%. They have 4 ults basically in the ult bank. So if they get some ults out of Spitfire right now, it's very easy for them to retake. And I do feel like Spitfire is like kind of overcommitting her. Like after that wall on Roar, they might not need all these ults, right? But Roar was already dead before the mail to even hit.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Thank you for all the follows, guys.
Get through this. Time to raise my ATM.
I mean, as I said, retaking on this map is hard. You've got this whole point that you can play defensively on and farm ults. But, saying that, Justice do have 4 ults right here.
Cheers, love.
To Spitfire's basically free if they play it slowly. So if Justice can find like a good wall and a Mayo, they can retake this pretty quickly.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Thank you for all the follows. So Corey died. So this is really bad, right? Because Spitfire was close to all these ultimates, right? So Corey getting picked here just makes them fill out these ults. And then they're no longer at an ult advantage. So it's really bad for Corey to get picked there. And we'll see why that happened. Or what happened, my guy? Oh no. Like gets greedy and keeps peeking. So Elevode's main. Aim got Archer coming up. Where's Roar? Roar's still in spawn. Do not want to peek when Roar's still in spawn. And then he goes pretty deep as well. Like, I get that Spitfire is giving up all the space, but you might as well take it when your Ryan's there. It's a little sloppy. Like, I feel like even though the Justice won these first 2 maps, there's a lot of sloppy mistakes still, which Spitfire then ends up, like, you know, seizing in the later maps of the series.
Defense matrix activated.
Spitfire's got the high ground here. They're farming up all these ults. I feel like what you want to do as Justice on this retake is playing the right side of the point, poking down J-Mac's shield, and then once his shield is low, you go for whoever is on point.
Cheers, love.
Get through this.
Corey's back. Back, baby. It seems kind of split. Like, Corey and Elevote are looking to go on a flank together. Can't wait for them. I don't mean either. And then the rest of the Justice is going on point. So this seems like some kind of set retake they've talked about. The problem is that Spitfire knows here that there are still people in that room. So it's not like gonna surprise them. And then Corey and AimGod do end up rotating late, which just seems weird. It opens them up to getting picked. Like, I feel if Washington's paying a lot of attention right now, or if Spitfire's paying a lot of attention right now, speeding onto Corey and AimGod could be a really good move here. Still boom. B2. Okay, so Blister gets booped down, which is a really big move for the Justice here. Nice move by Elevote. Elevote, phenomenal player this series. Like, all series, he played really well. This is Mayo gets eaten. Oh no. Both teams get our done. Yeah, it's kind of a reset. Art dies. The bomb. No. What have you done? So he gets the beat off. And then he just kind of like doesn't hide. Glister does this later too in the map, but this is not the play. This is just a mistake. Like, I feel like he could have dodged this. Get the bird eye view, but like best like this is really sloppy, right? The beat comes in. Arc has beat. The Diva bomb comes in. War's blocking it. And Arc dies. I feel like if Arc had just stayed here with Corey, he would have been fine. Oh no. Okay.
It's high noon.
But at the same time, losing your Lucia is bad, right? But it's not as bad as losing your Anna or your McCree. These two characters are the most important in the comp because if you lose Anna, you've no healing. And if you lose McCree, you've no damage. So basically both, if they would lose those two, it'd be an instant reset. But now I feel like as the Justice, you don't need to reset. Of course now they do. Like with Glister going that aggro with the ult. Kinda over. But at the same time, Bob gets picked late. Anyway, at the same time, you do see that Spitfire used the B, the Diva ult, the Shatter, and the McCree ult. So it's not that bad for Justice. Stratus did get his May ult eaten. Isn't what you want.
Boosters engaged.
I do want to say though that it's very hard if the Diva is like sitting on the Mei so hard for the Mei to ult, right? If the Diva, it's like not as easy as you would ult as a Zarya against Mei ult. It's very slow. That even if you bait the DM, you still get the DM off cooldown again for like the end of the Mei ult for when it goes off. Or he gets picked again. Like you cannot. This is like the second time he's gotten picked while walking in, and it just seems like they don't have a plan for this retake. Like earlier they were stuck in this room. Now he walks out before the rest of his team. It just seems like maybe the Justice were like a bit too trying to play too fast and a bit too much with the crowd instead of focusing on their own gameplay. Of course they win this map, but stuff like that is really sloppy, right? Okay. So the Diva is hiding behind. Pleston is on the flank. Justice do get the point. Corey's dead. So if you're the Spitfire right now, you want to play really aggressive. Especially now that Cliston's in the backline, denying aim got heals on War. Cliston does dodge to sleep. I feel like they could have gotten more aggressive there. I feel like here Shui needs to hit a wall and just press the W key. Okay, so they were walled by Stratus is what's going on. Okay, so they wanted to go aggro. Walled by Stratus, but I still feel like they maybe could walk past this wall since Corey's dead.
Overtime.
Walled. They walk past the wall. They need to go for their own wall. But they do very late. And then their wall is not as great, right? Like, you can walk past on two sides, which is bad. The Spitfire definitely had the idea there, just not the execution. And then now it's 6v6 again. Corey's already back. Not what you want as the Spitfire. They got this pick, and now they didn't capitalize. Now they're playing super passive. Blister goes for the high noon. Guess he was scared. So, this trade, in my eyes, is pretty good for the Spitfire because the Justice is lacking like all the heals right now, right? The Anna's dead. She did get her Nana boost off. But Elevote's not going to get healed up. And if Roar is focused right now, he can like just get poked down. So I feel like, again, if you are the Spitfire right now, you want to be aggressive. Okay, so they do go aggro. I feel like they can keep going aggro. No heals on the enemy team. They back out. They back out. And now Aim God's back on Moira. Blister's back on Tracer. But I mean, Tracer's not that great into this comp, right? You have the Mei and the McCree on the Justice. The Tracer isn't gonna do that much. See what happens here. I think this is where Corey gets picked because he doesn't get any help. So they hard commit on Corey. Because there's no Anna, this is like a lot better, right? For the Spitfire. Like if there was an Anna right now, nading Corey would like absolutely ruin this dive. And Corey does die. I feel like that was good execution from Spitfire. But also like if Elevote had only matrixed him for like 1 second, you know, maybe Corey would have lived. And then J-Max shatters. How does Spitfire lose this match? Or this map? Corey's dead, Ark's dead. J-Max just died.
Boosters engaged.
This is up.
Stratus gets a mail. He gets caught in the mail. 4 dies, Aim God dies. Stratus is dead. How did they lose? Oh, because the Justice people are already back. So this is this point, right? It's so hard to just cap this. Like, you can keep streaming in because one, the spawns are pretty close. Like, this spawn isn't that far. And there's so much cover on the point. Like, you can ring around the Rosie all the time around this pillar. So Stratus does fall. Spitfire has their Anna come back in. He almost says Nano. Stratus swaps to Samra, which I do like as a swap because there is a Hammond on the enemy team, and Samra shuts down Hammond really hard. And she's also pretty good at cleaning up points like this. And she gets back faster than Mei, right? See, again, the full reset. If Glister didn't waste Pulse on Diva Mech maybe it was winnable. I mean, what Glister was trying to do was like pulse bomb the Diva mech as she died, and if you time it perfectly, the mini Diva instantly dies. So I see what he was trying to do. It just, he mistimed it, and the Diva didn't die from it. But yeah, definitely in the end I find like if Elevote doesn't get his mech back there, then it's a lot better for them, right? Like, let's go look at this Diva pulse bomb real quick. See, he tries to stick the mech so the mini Diva dies instantly after, right? But he's a little bit late, and Elevote Diva bombs, which makes you eject in a little bit of a different way from when you just die as Diva, makes him mess up the timing and makes Elevote not die. Elevote just barely gets away from the pulse bomb. So I don't feel like Glister like had it like fucked up there, you know? It's just like a little bit of a mistiming. But yeah, these mistimings can lose you the match, because now you see Elevote has his mech back.
I'm back in the fight.
Refreshing. What's happening? I am doing a VOD review stream of the Spitfire against Justice match. It just ended. Okay. So, Shui ults gets nobody. That's a zoning mail right there. I mean, it is hard to mail against the team comp where you have the Lucio speed boost and the Moira shift. It definitely was. The Tracer blinks and the Sama translocator, so all he can ult is Reinhardt. But I think they speed Reinhardt through. Thank you for the follow, Sci-Fi. Let's see what happens to Roar, because he's obviously trying to ult Roar, right? Because that's the only target he can get.
Surrender.
Roar kind of gets walled. They throw the mail, and he just like walks out. I think he just doesn't expect Roar to flip there, and I think it was a very smart move from the entirety of Justice to like flip the point there. Both teams beat. What a Roar! Roar pins in! What's happening? They're fighting. Roar gets beat. Like, let's not focus the Hammond, but he pins. Oh no. Roar. He doesn't die. How does he not die? He's 1 HP. Roar is alive. He stays alive for so long. Wait, let's watch this. There's no way. Roar pins in. Roar's against the wall. Roar's frozen. Roar's 30 HP. Roar's 30. Roar's 10 HP. Roar's 10 HP. Roar's 0 HP.
Time to raise my.
He went to 30 HP like 4 times. And while Roar was getting focused, J-Mac died, but Aim God also died. Thank you for the follow, MK. Long time no see, buddy. And then Kylie and Glister die to Elevote and Corey. Dude, Elevote played phenomenally this match. Like, whenever I thought Justice is doing bad, I also always thought, like, Elevote is still, like, making picks and somehow killing highly. Thank you for the follow, mate. But yeah. Justice somehow win that because in the end, Celestine was great too for his debut match. Yeah, I definitely felt like Spitfire started like rolling as a team more in the second half of the match. And Celestine was eating a lot of males. So I was pretty impressed by that. Go over here. Time speed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think this is the match where I screamed super loud when Glister like walked into a Diva Bomb. We will see that later in dots 25. Okay, so the classic fight for the high ground here. I feel like high ground on this map is especially strong because it's very hard to retake through this chokes. What did you think of Celestine's pressure positioning on Corey? I think I haven't made up a whole opinion on that because I didn't watch that side of the match, but I'll try and watch out for it here in the VOD review. I think early on Corey got a ton done, and then midway through the series was kind of shut down. So especially when Corey was trying to play Widow, I remember Celestine like being on top of him and then kind of like read where Corey was going. And Corey obviously is like D carry for the Justice, so whenever you can shut him down, that's crazy good. So Spitfire get high ground control here. They do a good job of getting this wall and walling off the Mei and the McCree off, so they get the focus roar for free. And obviously roar has to drop, there's no way you stay on top. And this is like really good positioning for Spitfire, right? Like they get to have this high ground. I don't know why the Korean Ana are this far back, but whenever... Where is the Mei? Wait, oh, okay, he's with the team. So whenever Justice tries to retake this, they'll get walled here, right? Like, you cannot retake the high ground here, so you have to just walk on point, and then you have a really awkward angle against the enemy team, right? Like, it's easy for the Ana to get nades from up here, it's easy for the Kree to click heads, but it's really hard to do it back to them, right? Because you have this barrier, and they can just walk back a little bit on the high ground, not to get shot. So this is really what you want on the Spitfire, and they've already like taken a positional advantage, even though they no kills have been given yet, right? And no ults have even got.
Routing power to forward shield.
So Justice do try to retake through high ground. Sweet wall's a little bit early. I was hoping like they could wall off someone that walks in here, but overall the wall's pretty good.
Boosters engaged.
The objective is now active.
And like you see how hard it is for the Justice to retake this high ground, but they're still pressured into doing it. And I think if like Spitfire can make a really decisive move on either the people in tunnel here or the people on point, they can like catch the Justice off guard because they are out of position. Arc's over here, and then you have the entire backline here, and Elevote and Roar on the point. While the Spitfire seem like much more together, you know? Like Sanguinar could speed them onto anyone. So they do end up going for Roar. Oh, and here's what you're talking about, right? Like as soon as they go for Roar, Celestine, he goes for Corey, so he can't do anything on the high ground. But then Elevote somehow kills Hylie. And Elevote did this multiple times in the series. But you see Arc and Elevote flanked on Hylie. Which, if you don't kill the Ana there, they would have lost this fight easy. So let's see from Hylie POV what happened. And I think Hylie could even be on the high ground here to not be exposed to this flank. But yeah, he just gets dived.
Get through this.
Aimgod dies in turn, so it's not over yet.
Taking off.
Cheers,
Roar dies, Glister dies. Thank you for the follow. Don't they still lose it? I don't know. But that flank on Hylie was very strong. But then, because of the positional advantage that Spitfire had already amassed, and because they kill Aimgod, they still win the fight. There was a bunch of time where Celestine would sit hard flank, then push Corey. J-Mac plays with no mousepad? I have no clue. I did not watch that.
Time to
If anyone
raise
else
my
can confirm that, let me know.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
So you see how Celestine's still out of mech? He's 70% right now. Justice see this and they want to push hard. But they do like kind of feel like Elevote's alone here.
Cheers, love. The
Like Aurora's still all the
cavalry's
way up here. Thank you for all the follows, guys. Typing hard on phone.
No,
Like, Elevote's in there, dude. Elevote.
You better get out of the way.
You got nano. Okay, good.
I'm back in the fight and have to shoot you down.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's
It's
here.
high
Red
noon.
matrix activated. Time
Let's
to
start high noons, which resets the fight perfectly for Spitfire here. And I do feel like this was a really well timed high noon because it gives them a lot of space, right? Like they were kind of in a ball in a corner, but then he high noons and this resets the fight. Like J-Max half HP, but because the high noon comes out, Roar can't swing on him anymore. So I feel like this is a really good high noon from Glister. And then Elevote just barely eats it with the Matrix. So that was a nice eat from Elevote. Elevote, of course, is this aggressive because he has the Diva Bomb. Oh shit.
Cheers, love. The
London
cavalry's
Spitfire
here.
here are aggro as hell. Let's see what they decide to do. So they see Elevote bombing. And then they just decide to like hard speed in. Go over it. They force Elevote's mech. Then J-Max shatters Corey. But because Roar doesn't have shatter yet, J-Max can go really deep with nano, right? Normally this could get counter shattered, but Roar is only 77%. You have made X and result. I think you've managed your tilt. I mean, Spitfire won. You should be happy like they Overwatch. Anyway. So, J-Mac calls out, hey guys, Corey shatter, let's kill Corey, go, 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 go. Don't you feel Elevote is playing really aggro? I mean, he's playing really aggro because he had the ult there. And he does get the remake. But I feel like he wouldn't have played like that if he did not have the Diva Bomb and the Nano before that. But yeah, this entire series, Elevote is in the backline. He's like trying to kill Hylie over and over again. Also, Elevote does get headshot by Shui while trying to remake. But this fight was already over after they shattered Corey. Why use the ult when you have Blizzard? I mean, he was kind of pressured into doing it, I feel. Like, I feel like the justice here overall wasn't on the same line. Like, Elevote is way ahead of his team, right? He's like... Elevote is over here, going in, while Roar and Corey are still in spawn, right? So just this whole push felt like it was a little bit rushed by the Justice. Like, I feel like they could have waited a lot longer, not done this wall, and they're just getting pressured because the enemy team has no Diva mech. But I feel like that's not worth not having your Rhine and Queen to fight, right? So yeah, Elevote is definitely going like really aggro here. This entire fight. So he gets nanoed, gets stunned. If he gets naded a little bit earlier, that's even more dangerous. But then finally Roar is already there, right? But the nano is already over. And it didn't get that much value. And then Glister gets a reset fight with his ult.
It's high noon.
And then they'll tilt to the leg day. Should I make eggs? Eggs do help. I have a prescription from the doctor. Eggs help with tilt. I chose tilt therapy next week. He eats eggs. So yeah, I like the solo shadow on Corey. Kree and Ana are the most important characters in this team comp. So if you get to kill the Kree or the Ana with an aggressive play like that, it's really good. And then they clean up. And somehow the Justice still win this map. Which is crazy. Make the eggs. Eggs are worth it, I've heard. Oh. Okay. Klesting gets slipped. He is hiding. But not very well. See what's going on here. He is... Klesting is gaming! He's gaming! He's gaming on the mobile phone. And they see him and he gets... No, he's gaming. He's a gamer. I did not. He's gaming. He's taking out the mobile phone. He's playing Raid Shadow Legends. Legends of Soulguard. He's stacking them up. he's playing Raid Shadow Legends on the mobile phone. There's no way. He just gets Cleston, no. This is too much. Don't PM. I think the game makes sound too. Maybe he misclicked emote, but you can cancel it. I don't understand. And then they wake him up. He goes to 1 HP. So this gives a lot of space to Justice, right? They have to heal him up. Justice can now walk in. It surprises me that they didn't pin him there. I feel like Roar probably had his pin on cooldown because he pinned from spawn, maybe. I feel like they could have pinned him here. But they don't end up doing that. They just stun him and nade him. Could have been even worse for the gamer. Anyway, they get out. And I want you guys to know, Justice still win this map.
It's high noon.
Okay. So Corey High Noon's on walk in to create space. Cleston is in a really good position to punish Corey on his High Noon here. Corey gets booped in. He should 100% die here. Are you going to review all the maps? Yes, definitely. Even if it takes me 4 hours. We are reviewing all the maps. The router should take like 5 minutes, so you know. It's basically 4 maps, not 5 maps. Corey lives somehow. I don't understand how Corey lives here. What happens? Corey. Buddy. You get booped in. Does he get full matrix? The High Noons. There's a Mei on him. The Diva flies in on him. He's like 5 HP. 2 HP. He's 2 HP.
Draw.
And he even gets to shoot the Deadeye. And then he lives. Because Elevote is like a god and Matrix isn't. 2 HP. That's basically 2 HP to losing this map. Because if Corey dies there, this is over. That's crazy. Okay. Corey does die. Okay, good. But now, starting like a little bit later in the fight, Spitfire's used beat. Did they need the beat there? Weston is a little bit low HP, but overall they're like pretty high HP still, I feel. Blister Hiley's got the high ground. J-Max frozen, but behind a pillar. And he beats. I mean, to secure the kill on Corey in this last fight, that beat is okay. This ult from Shui, however, doesn't get that much. Thank you for the follow, number 2, Manu. Aim God also dies. So this fight's a reset. And somehow Justice still win this map. Got your boy Elevo here chilling. I think this is where we see Blister die to Diva Bomb. Maybe not. Maybe that's next fight. It is some fight. Okay. So Elevo goes for the contest under. Good positioning overall because it's hard to pressure him from the high ground. And you cannot contest anymore from this high ground. So Clestin is gonna have to drop.
Overtime.
Bunny hop.
Good boot on Shui from Elevo. Really good boot. Does he also get Glister? This is like what you have to do on these retakes as D.Va. You want to be booping pings off the high ground. You want to be creating chaos. You want to be using that 3-second booster. So yeah, he boops both Shui and Glister. And then he doesn't boop J-Mac because of the Reinhardt Steadfast passive. So that is really good for them. Especially because it boops them into the team as well. Glister instantly dies. Arc beats.
Hammer down!
I feel like that's a very aggressive beat from Arc, especially when you need to like go back from 99 to 99-0, you know? Overall, I do get it though. Like, it's last fight, you're pressured, you need to get these kills. Oh, Corey dies because of the bullet. Clestin died. How does Clestin die? What happened? Goes aggro? Okay, so Clestin goes for Corey. Which is really good. He has D.Va Bomb too. So even if he gets D-Macked here. And then he gets like AoE swung on by Roar. Roar Alpha'd in there.
Nerf this.
That's really good though. To kill Clestin before the D.Va Bomb like gets him his mech back.
I am unstoppable.
Stratus dies on the other end of the fight. Elevo gets nanoed. Okay, so Justice get to retake this map. They push Spitfire all the way back, but keep in mind, Corey's still in spawn. So if Spitfire goes really aggressive here, Justice might not have the damage to like push Spitfire back because they don't have McCree themselves. But Spitfire go all the way back. I feel like if Spitfire goes aggro here because Corey is dead, they have a really good chance of just blowing up Roar. And then I don't understand why Clestin goes ball. Like, they have 100% to go. Like, it's not like you need to get back to the fight quick. And ball does not do good into Mei McCree.
It's time.
Now they go aggro. They blow everything on Roar. But he does die. Oh, this is... Yes. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to. I'll let you guys watch. Did it pass? Is it over? Just look at the flowers, Glister. Just look at the flowers. Need some .25 on this one. The D.Va Bomb goes out. Glister's like, let me get a peek at that. No, Glister, no. No, Glister. Keep in mind, they're 1 up in this fight. If Glister does not die here, they're likely to win this map. Glister looks at the D.Va Bomb. He walks into it. Glister, there's a pillar.
Nerf this.
Draw.
Glister, there's a D.Va Bomb right there. There's a D.Va Bomb. No, not forward, backwards. You must have hit the wrong key. You must have pressed the W key. That's a Pega move. We will no longer watch that.
It's time.
I hate them, my team, my heart, my soul. Weston dies because Ball is not good into Maycree. So pretty as it blows up, you have to watch it. Yeah. He's like, ooh, shiny! This is shiny! They would have probably won that fight too. That's crazy. At this point, it's hard to retake because of this whole high ground. Your Anna can sit up here, your Kree can sit up here. It's hard to retake this. You have to go on point. And then, like Elevote did earlier, right? If you look for the good boops and you get them, that can be a game changer, right? But if you don't get them and they just sit high ground above you, it's very hard. Also, Cleston's getting pressured really hard by Stratus here. Stratus is very aggressive. Or Shatter. Yeah. Delicious walks in. He's tilted. He's tilted off the earth of that last Isabel. He doesn't want any more of this. He goes in. He's like, I'm nano boosted. I need to take the duel. His team's like, Lister, come back. Roar's like, nah, bro. I got you. That was a big shatter for Roar.
How many is that? I stopped counting a long time ago.
Oh, and then they stagger Cleston. I feel like they could have staggered him longer. Like, it's 65% right now. Maybe they could have staggered him even to like 70% or 75%. Did they have sleep up? And got Mrs. Sleep. Did you hear about this OD team? I did not. Yeah, they could have staggered him longer, but Aim God was tilted that he missed his sleep. So he's just like, make it end. Make it stop. And then now this is really bad for the Spitfire, right? They have like no aggressive ults to retake here. Justice have Nano, Justice almost have Diva Bomb, Justice has beat. Spitfire just have their beat. And this is a hard retake point. I feel like what Justice did last time, where they had the Diva go under and then go for the boop, it's textbook play, like how you have to retake. Where even is Weston right now? What's his plan? Oh, he's going over. Oh, he does get the boop.
Time to raise my APM.
Honestly, that was a nice play. Especially with him getting the beat just in time. Forcing Corey off the high ground here. Pretty good. I like, though, that Justice didn't give them any time to like set anything up, right? They instantly go in with Nano Roar. Who doesn't get anything because of the beat, but still, they force beat. Nano for beat is a good trade. But then, Arc just beats. Okay. Or was anybody really low? Eleva was half HP. Roar was going low, so that's why he beat. And there was a shadow. That's a good beat. Oh wait, at this point the beat's already over. I'm stupid. Hello, Bumblebee. If Ark had saved beat, that would have been PogChamp. But no. Is Elevote that low that he needs beat? Don't think so, right? Roar's half HP. Elevote's half HP. Elevote does go to 1 HP, so it's not that bad. But still, imagine if they had saved this here. Elevote does kill Sanguinar somehow. Watch that. These are the fights that we watch. Oh, wait, pretty killed. Beat. Elevo goes in because he has beat. Sangunar has 1 HP and he just catches him. Sneaky, sneaky.
It's handy.
Nerf this.
Queston also dies. I love it. Remix with bomb. And then Corey kills Glister.
Here.
Thank you for the follow. Speed boost. How does Glister kill Corey? Oh wait, Corey kills Glister on it. Again, Elevo makes so much space. He just like...
Cheers, love. The
Oh
cavalry's
my god,
here.
that head click from Corey was dirty. Thank you for the follow, Cherry. Cherry. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. And then Elevo cleans up more. Elevo absolutely dominates this fight.
Routing power to forward shield.
Corey does end up dying, but at this point it's over, right? Overtime spawns. Popping on the Korean. The alphabet is not that hard. Strangely enough, Spitfire get to stall this for a long time. But Corey comes back in. Radis' male still gets eaten. By the one person that's alive.
Handy.
And Corey clicks hit on the cleanup. Okay. That was a map 1.
Victory.
Let's quickly go to map 2 here. Hanamura. So give me 1 second here. I am going to go to the toilet
Ready for battle.
and refill my water glass. Stay hydrated. I'll just let this play.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
날라간다.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Crap, it's hot in my room. Oh. We've already started. We're late. We got a big host from Leg Day Gaming. Let us see here. So, the thought process here for me on this whole justice rollout seems to be that one, they want to use the high grounds here for Corey and use the rafters while they expect the enemy team to be on McCree. Oh, it got on Reddit. Thank you, whoever posted it. And then Spitfire kind of counters that with their comp, because why Reaper doesn't see much play right now is because the Reaper against McCree is generally not a matchup that the Reaper is favored in. So I feel like they kind of like walked into a blind counter, and I wouldn't be surprised if like Justice swaps to the McCree here, because the McCree counters Reaper. But the Reaper, again, is just really good at everything else. So yeah, it's surprising to me that they defend with this comp. But the Reaper does seem to kind of be working out for the Spitfire. Like, as you see later on in Dorado, they are very good when they get to play aggressive, and they are not so good when they have to play defensive. Also, Kleston's whole job here has to be to sit on Corey. Like, if Corey gets free space up here, Kleston's not doing a good job. He should be booped every time he tries to climb up. Forgot my water glass. I'm a dummy. Okay. So the Justice speed in with a wall. How does... Oh, Roar gets slept. I see.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
Stratus has to use the May block because he gets walled off. At that point, like, you've used a lot of resources here for the Justice. Somewhere. But I mean, if like Justice gets a lot of space here, this is really good for them, right? Because Reaper works in chokes, so right here's where the Reaper wants to be. Well, the Hanzo's better when he gets a lot of space. So Spitfire want to be very aggressive here. That initial push didn't really work out for them.
Matrix activated. I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Do you see how much space the Justice get right now? Where is Corey? Okay, so he's just with the team. He doesn't want to be on a flank because then Clestin will cover him. Oh no. So all of the Spitfire speeds in, right, like I was saying. But because they're playing Ana instead of Moira, the Ana gets soloed out by Elevo, who had really good positioning here. Yeah. And then if your Ana dies, the rest of this composition has no healing, right? So J-Mac, who's now anti-nated, won't get any heals, neither will Shui. So getting that pick from Elevo and trading for Roar is so worth it. Especially because Justice have closer spawns here than the Spitfire do, right? But yeah. Justice just have to heal up and then go aggressive because there's no heals on the side of Spitfire right now.
Time to raise my APM. No.
Telephone flies up.
Matrix activated. Forward carry.
Surprisingly, Elevo's not getting a lot of healing here. Like, where's Aim God folks? I guess everybody's low.
Need healing.
Need healing. Okay. Oh, so he has to like heal himself. Oh no. Aim God, you're
You're
missing.
powered up. Get in there.
Right. And then they nano boost Elevo? But why? I feel like they could wait for Roar and just get the point. Because Hyli's still so far away. Especially because Nano Ryan, I think, is a lot better here because Spitfire doesn't have Shatter yet.
You better get out of the way.
Elevo gets booped, he gets frozen. J-Max still goes to 1 HP. And because there's no healing, right, on Spitfire, they have to wait for the Ana. Twister also goes to 1 HP. Like, I feel like if Justice had just waited like 2 seconds there, and then like either Nano Roar, that'd be very good for them. That Nano and Elevo was completely mitigated, even though there was no healing on the side of the Spitfire. And now Hyli's already back. Shui goes for a mail on Ward. It's a pretty good mail. They also wall off the... Oh no. Stratus walls himself off to get it. Ward goes down. Good mail. I feel like May ulting the enemy Ryan is very strong. Like, you can't always go for the 6-man mailed. Like, if you can take a mailed where the enemy team isn't gonna eat it, then that's a good mailed, I feel, if you can get at least 1 or 2 guys. And then after the Ryan's dead, all Spitfire have to do is like play the shield war and play aggressive with their Reaper. He gets a good wall and freeze. J-Mac does end up dying. And Elevo uses his ult to stay alive. Which, I mean, it's better than having to wait like 20 seconds for him to get mech back. So I don't mind the ult to remech that much. Corey's still coming back from spawn. Corey's in spawn. You should reset. No McCree's, no damage. They beat. Counter beat. I feel like Glacier did not need to Wraith out there. Hold up. Glacier goes in. He's 210 HP. I feel like he could have waited a little bit and then gotten the beat. But maybe the comms there weren't like, hey, stay in, go, 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 go. Maybe it was like, back out, retreat, retreat. They beat it.
Now I'll show them.
You can't blame that on him. And then Justice is now in a very good spot, right? Like, every one of Spitfire is on one angle. And then now I have the Kree to deal with the Reaper, who's finally back. Stratus gets an ult off. It's pretty good because it stops the re-engage, and because Justice is so close to the last tick, it like makes it so Spitfire have to do a really awkward engage where J-Mac etc. can't help. J-Mac pins. Blister gets frozen. Blister dies. That's like almost all of your damage in this comp, right? So the Reaper dying is a really big deal. Stratus ends up getting frozen by Shui. Or gets nanoed. What is happening? The fight's all over the place. But because the Reaper is dead, I feel like the Spitfire lacked damage, even though Shui got a nice pick on Stratus. And fight's finally over.
Objective lost. New defense point.
And then you have the second point here. And generally, weeks 5, 6 just got canceled. Wait, they got canceled? What? Wait, all the Seoul homestands got canceled? Wow, that's so big. I do feel like that is the right choice for safety though, because there's now the heavy coronavirus outbreak in Korea. Let me open this real quick and let me read this with you guys too. In order to protect staff health and safety. In order to protect the health and safety of our players, fans, and staff, we are canceling plans to host all 2020 all matches in South Korea in weeks 5, 6, and 7, including the Seoul Dynasty homestand. Wow. That is a big step, but one I do respect. I feel like at such a big event, and especially because in South Korea right now, there is like a warning to not have public events. It could be a real health risk to everyone there and to the players. And with how prevalent the coronavirus is, this move makes a lot of sense. It does suck. I wanted to swear at it, but we're a friendly channel here. But it does suck, but at the end of the day, safety of the players and everyone attending the homestand should come first, and I think they make a good move here. Okay, so now that that's talked about that, and it sucks, but makes sense. Let's continue the review here. Thank you for posting that per Vijitsu. That is very interesting. Okay, so where was I going with this? East Coast match. Not sure. I hope they move it somewhere. But whatever they do, I do think safety always comes first, right? So even if they play with no crowd, right? It's still probably worth it. I think they no longer have the Blizzard Arena in LA. So they can't just do that. They could like re-rent it, but okay. Where were we going with this? Oh yeah, I was talking about Hanamura's second point. I think Hanamura second point and Anubis second point for that matter are so hard to cap right now because Mei is so good on these points. Like Mei will wall off this choke, she'll wall off that choke, she'll wall off this choke, you know? Like there's so many chokes that you can get walled through. And then the enemy team gets to like get big nades on you, gets to control high ground. So capping these 2 CP second points is really hard, and that's why you'll see a lot of draws on Anubis and Hanamura. Just because Mei is so good, stalls have been very good on these points. Like Mei's 4-second invulnerability, nano boost beat, everything, you know. Mei ult can turn the fight around, and then the close ass spawns, they like make these fights clutch. And then Snowball got nerfed, right? Because if you die on first point now, you'll get the really fast spawn on second point. So snowballs almost don't happen as much anymore unless there's a really big ult advantage. This is interesting. So you see what I mean? This wall right here stops gets Elevote caught almost instantly. They can use the shock homestead, maybe. I wonder what they'll do. I have no clue, honestly. Okay, let's see what happens. So you've got Sweet on the off angle here. Obviously, look at a wall to choke, which I think is a good move because if you don't hold this, then you have to hold up here, and then the enemy team can like walk out this side, right? And they get a lot of angles on you, especially if you're playing Reaper. You need to be the aggressive team. Like you cannot let the enemy team get over here because then you lose the shield war. Elevote gets walled off. Which, I mean, if anyone is to get walled off, Elevote is probably one of the best ones. Because he can matrix himself and fly out. Elevote kind of like walks in. Does end up getting out. Stratus comes through with a good wall. And they all focus the Mei wall. So this is good from the Justice. But wait, what is this mail? Sweet, no, Sweet, they were gone. Let's watch from his POV. Use the mail. So Elevo wants to bait out the mail here and try to eat it, and now Shui sees his opportunity to like use his mail, but Mei wall here, it breaks LOS on the mail, so you don't actually get frozen by it. Like if it's used on the other side of this wall, Roar won't get frozen by it instantly and he can just walk out. Like because the Mei wall is there, it breaks LOS on the mail, and they actually just get to walk out with almost full speed, right? So yeah, that Mei ult gets very little value. And Mei ult is really good on 2 CP second points. So Shui using it like this is very bad. And I get the whole concept of like, you have a Reaper, so you have to play super aggro. But that was not the way. Also, Stratus walks in first. Good wall from Stratus though. Gets his ice block force because he doesn't want to get frozen. Again, Justice get through the wall pretty quickly. 4-second ice block lasts really long. And now, like, this seems like a really good fight for Justice, right? Both teams get a big nade. The one that Justice threw is a little bit bigger. Shui still has its ice block though. Stratus doesn't. Have a disengage. Wow. Wow. So J-Mac or Roar goes for the shatter, but everyone kind of like disengages just a second before that. Like J-Mac jumps out the window because he's 1 HP. Glacier jumps out the window. And Shui ice blocks the shatter really well. So yeah, Shui ice blocks it. Too highly and Sanguinar gets done. No, because I think the ice block canceled the LOS on the shatter. Did it? Because I feel like it does come this far, right? So maybe the ice block here blocks it for the Ana. Let's watch that again. Because that could be really big, right? Because if the Ana gets stunned here, fight could be over. Get forced back. Dot 25.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's
I'm
here.
not sure. Thank you for the follow, Prodigy. What happened? But I think the ice block blocked it for highly. Or it just barely doesn't reach that far. Either one. But it's really big that he doesn't get shattered. Now, Highly gets to walk out the window. He would have died otherwise. J-Mac gets the healing because Highly lived. If Highly dies, they lose this fight straight up. But now Highly's alive. Elevo goes for Highly because he's pissed off he didn't get shattered. Gets D-Mac'd. Elevo goes a little too deep there, right? Like, he gets killed before he gets back in his mech. So at that point, the fight's like gone really sour for the Justice. Like, as soon as you lose one guy on 2 CP, it's worse than anywhere else, right? Because the spawn is so far. Like, it's gonna take Elevo a really long time to get back here, and by that point, Spitfire can already have made like several aggressive plays, right?
It's Hanu.
Questing gets D-Mac, Shree dies, but they're trading. Like, aim got it dead. Trades are really good for the defensive team on 2. Both teams beat, but I feel like because aim god is dead, Justice using all these ults is like really bad. Like them using the beat there, and also Elevote swapping. He didn't have any Diva ult percentage, but still. Not good. Highly does end up dying. How? Yo, Highly dies. Oh. Where? I'm replaying.
You're going to be okay. You're powered up. Get in there.
Up nano in. Goes for Corey, kills him. And he gets frozen by Stratus, okay. So he trades out. Which, honestly, not bad. Trades on 2 CP, as I said, really good. Especially when you kill the enemy McCree, which is like a lot of the enemy team's damage.
Game on.
Arc is focused, Arc does not die. And then Stratus dies. So you see how, like, once you lose 1 or 2 guys on 2 CP, Spitfire just gets the better spawns. That's like really hard to win that.
Get through this.
Let us continue. Justice regroup. The big thing is, like, that fight went so long, so Spitfire has a lot of ults coming up again. Justice have the Nano and the Mayo, but if they don't get a really big Mayo, then
The
thank you
cavalry's
for the
here.
follow, Grave One. Then Spitfire will have an ult advantage, right? They'll have the Reaper ult, they'll have the Mayo, they'll have the Shatter. And in general, on 2 CP, if you have an ult disadvantage, it's very hard to reach. Just because the chokes are so bad to go through.
Defense matrix activated.
I like this. I don't know if I like going under here for Justice. Because this is also a bad choke, right? So all Spitfire have to do is like be ready to get a nade on this choke and go really aggro. Stratus goes first, so if Stratus doesn't get, like, I feel like Spitfire could have been really ready there to fight here. And then this has to be really bad for Justice. But because Justice maybe rotated so fast, a Spitfire didn't expect it. They weren't like decisive enough. And then now they're already out, right? So you can't go anymore as deep. And the Spitfire comp wants to go deep. They have the Reaper. Very interesting. So even now, right? Like they're still kind of split here. The Justice used their wall very defensively, which I am not a fan of. Because now Shui's wall gets to come out, right? Right after this Stratus wall, which he hasn't used yet. Still, Spitfire doesn't go in. Finally, Spitfire go in, and they get a really good wall here. Elevo goes for highly Insanguinar, but he shouldn't be able to like do a whole lot to them. Just deny healing. And then J-Max like the only one going, and Elevo gets nano, so that's a really good nano. Stratus has another wall cooldown, right? So because Spitfire was so slow and indecisive on their engage, Stratus got his wall cooldown up again. Shui on the other end does get a really good ult. Killing Stratus. And again, trading on these 2 CP maps, even though Spitfire just lost 2, I don't feel like it's the end of the world. Like, they just killed Stratus, so they don't have like the freezing power and stuff on this point. And Glister still has ult too.
It's hand.
40 ults, opposite. You've held on to that a little longer.
It's hand.
Oh, so he tries to get Shui over here, but he dodges it with the ice block. So that was a nice ice block from Shui. Would have died there. J-Mac goes on the point to not give any ticks. Yeah, J-Mac ends up falling. Good aggression from Justice. And then Blister ends up like nano Beyblading, but it does get one. But he gets booped away, right? So I wonder like how we still kill somebody after the boop. But he seems like he's out of range.
I feel alive.
Or just kind of like walk back into it because he wants to block it. But does his shield die? Or kill J-Man. Good job, Roar. Or whiff shatter completely. Not a good job, Roar. And then Blister ults. Oh, and he gets slipped from behind him. Roar could have won the fight for his team if he shattered highly. Like, watch this again. Like, I feel like if he just shattered highly here, like, this does not work. It doesn't go over. Yeah, I know he got slept, but this shatter does not cross over gaps. It will get stopped right on the stairs here. But yeah, shatters the wall. Yeah. I feel like he got pressured into using that, but at the same time, not good. And then he gets slept, and then he gets the Nano Reaper in his face. And then, yeah, that fight's basically over. And this is a strong thing about the whole 2CP defense, right? Like, even though Spitfire had a rough start to that fight, it just killed Stratus, and because of that, they were able to, like, keep stalling out and win. And even though Corey, like, killed Glister now, it doesn't matter. It's 2CP defense. You get good spawns. And I think here is where Spitfire makes, like, the biggest mistake I've ever seen.
60 seconds remaining.
Like, they've been fighting, like, in here for now. Might have hit the highly. If he turns slightly right, yes, definitely. was already turning into Shield Death Blossom while shattering. It wasn't a bad shatter, it was unfortunate timing. Maybe, yeah. He was like panicking about the Nano Blossom while trying to shatter. That makes a lot of sense.
Routing power to full.
Okay. You see how once again Spitfire have like really good ult bank? Like they have no reason to lose this fight. Like if they get a good Mail or Shatter, thank you for the follow. Or a good Diva Bomb or Beat. You know, they have a lot of ways to like trade and win these fights. But I think they make a massive error here. Like, they have no business losing this upcoming fight. So again, Stratus baits out the wall by going in. They've done this so that Stratus can take the wall, and then if he gets pressured too hard, he ice blocks. So this is very smart from the Justice. While this is going on, Arc and Elevote C9 point. So now the Spitfire have to make a choice, right? They either have to like hard focus point, or they have to like hard focus the rest of Justice. Blessing goes to contest point, which it's fine, right? You can get healing from the high ground, so it's good. But then J-Mac goes in for a big shatter, whiffs it, and Shri gets slept. But Shri staying out there and getting slept is like catastrophic, right? Like, I don't think he saw it coming in. It's also a very nice sleep from AimGod, right? But after this wall goes wrong, I feel like the team needs to make the call to like play a little more passive. And of course he still has the ice block. So he can get away somewhat. But that sleep hitting is like really bad for the Spitfire. And then they also block the shatter. And Ward is pinned. And that like opens up this fight to going really bad. Because Elevote and Arc are still pressuring point. Before he takes high ground. Weston ults and he gets killed while he's ulting.
30 seconds remaining.
Oh no.
Have to shoot you down. Get through this.
Oh yeah. Weston goes for the ult because he's low HP, but Elevote goes on him like really nicely, and I don't like this positioning. Weston's ult. I feel like you want to use the ult there to just use it as a remake a little bit. Maybe even on point. Good wall from Stratus to like wall off the spawn here. And AimGod has high ground, right? Like this is really big. He can nade from up here and get a lot of healing done.
Unstoppable.
10 seconds.
Like this is where the Reaper comp is also weak, right? If they don't get to like into these open fights and the enemy team gets to play high ground, the Reaper doesn't really win at range. AimGod does die somehow. Is not good that happened. At this point, Washington Justice is already so far up, and they still have full HP. And Elevote each squeeze ult. That Mayo goes off, that's really big. Like, Stratus is definitely like really pressured to ult here. Wait. Yeah. Let's see. He goes for the wall into ult. And Elevote reacts immediately. This was really good from Elevote. Like, knowing that he was gonna Mail into the wall is like perfect reaction time. So very big ups on that. He must have like had in the back of his mind like, hey, Shri's gonna ult. I have to eat it as soon as I see him. Very good job from Elevote. And then Corey cleans up.
All systems checked out.
J-Mac somehow kills Roar too. So actually, Justice don't have Roar or AimGod right now because he's still coming back from spawn. So Justice need to clean this up quick.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Blister like comes in on the Doom, but I would rather see him try and retake on the Tracer. I feel like the Tracer does better with a point like this, because there's no real like wall bangs that Doom can get. Especially because you can't like right click from up here. You have to like drop down and then right click. Doesn't work as well. So you maybe come from high ground, but I don't know. I like Tracer more on the stall.
It's hand.
Yeah. Justice cap. And I feel like capping 2 CP, unless you snowball, it's really hard. I think that's a good attack from Justice. Neum.
Initiating match.
Oh, Spitfire.
Three, two,
Okay,
one.
let's see.
Attackers
Defense
incoming.
comp by Justice.
Defend
Again, they're
objective
playing
A.
this Hanzo. And I feel like it's because they value this high ground with the Hanzo a lot. Like, Hanzo can use all these high grounds a lot better than the McCree can and be a lot more versatile. And Corey's best character is Hanzo. I feel like it's more of a comfort pick, but it's also something you can do on this style of map.
Time to raise my APM.
And you see that on the attacker, Spitfire also rolls up. They must also prefer like getting the Hanzo on one of these high grounds. Elevote is a really good div at contesting high grounds though. He knows how to use his boosters and where to be at what time.
Taking off.
Okay. So here's what you want to do when you go through a choke, right? The enemy Mei's always going to be looking to wall you off. So what Sui does here is he walls off the enemy Mei, so they can all speed through before Stratus can wall them off. So you see Stratus like instantly go around and try to get his own wall, but it's not as good because it's hurried, and he's like, oh shit, I got walled off, I need to like wall their engage, right? That was a good straight up like space taking wall from Shui. And now Glister should have a lot of space, right? Glister goes to 1 HP, Omega. Glister does not get healing. Glister dies. See what happened there. Let's watch the Glister camp. Does his team not healing? Did he make his own mistake? Climbs up, sees D.Va, he's like, shit, it's D.Va, I gotta run. And then he gets hit by a Hanzo arrow, maybe? Gets chucked down 55 HP. He says, I need healing. He does not get healing. Elevote matrixing the healing? Let's watch Hylie here.
You're going to live.
So Glister's still full. At least shooting the enemy team. Glister takes damage. Hylie misses Glister.
Need healing.
Glister walks out of LOS. The nade gets eaten, so very nice nade eat from Elevote there. Next shot, he dies. So that was like, first shot, Hylie misses. Second shot, Glister like walks out of Hylie LOS. And then the nade gets eaten by Elevote. That is unfortunate, but also not good.
Come on.
And then your main damage is dead, right? Like the Hanzo's dead. The rest of the team is to facilitate the Hanzo. So you want to reset here.
Bunny hop. I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Blister stays on the Hanzo. Westing goes in like a little bit early so he can like matrix off whoever gets walled. And again, they do a good wall on Stratus, so he can't wall the walk in. But this time Stratus actually is a little more patient with the wall. So he doesn't like instantly use it because he panics because he just got walled. I think that's a smart move. Like this wall is a lot better because it actually like cuts off J-Mac's retreat here. Weston is on the flank here, but feel Aim God's positioning is like good enough to not get caught by Cleston at all. Thank you for the follow, Mystical Spider. Weston goes on Aim God solo, but Corey's like right there. Just cannot. Okay, he flies away. Smart moves, Cleston. Smart moves. Elevo does end up dying though. See what happened. Highly dies. Really good for Spitfire. What happened to Highly there? Caught in the wall? What? Oh no, he gets caught in the wall. No, he's stuck. Somebody help this man. That is unfortunate. Okay. So Highly gets pressured by Elevo. Highly gets stuck in the wall. Oh no. That is so unlucky. He just gets sniped by Aim God. While he's stuck. And then your Mei is dead, like, or your Anna's dead, I'm sorry. When your Anna's dead, you have no healing, and you see how low, like, Cleston is, how low J-Mac is, how low Shui is, like, there's no way that they don't reset. They do end up doing a little bit of a reset. They get the health back, which is smart. You need to go pick up Highly here. Oh, and Glister picks Elevo, who just got D-Mech. That's really big. Like, Elevo was 70 to mech already. So Glister picking him is like pretty bad. Like, he's 80 right here. 80% to mech, and he just peaks a little too long. Like, I feel like at this point, you might just want to hide. You're so close to mech. Oh, he doesn't even see him. Yeah. And then Blister just freds the needle on that one. That was a crazy shot. That's really bad, like the Justice, right? Because if he gets like 10 more seconds or 5 more seconds, he gets mech back, and they're 6v6. And we walls, there's no Levi in play, so he can get whatever mail he wants. Or gets mail. I feel like I like this May wall because not only does it, or this mail, not only does it get war, obviously, it also zones whoever wants to like come and help him. Like, Stratus can't just walk on the point because of that mail. And then Glister fucks. Glister kind of killed everybody. Kills free somehow. He has the scout arrow out. Oh, that was a nice flick. Then he goes in, Aim God gets him, but that's worth. He wrote that one in his book. That's worth, brother. He wrote in chat, GR.
Objective lost. New
And he gets good spawn too.
Objective B.
And he swaps to Kree. Hanzo's a lot worse on the second point. there's not as much high grounds that you can reuse while you walk up and down. If you get a high ground as Kree, it's really strong, but you kind of want to keep the high ground and not jump up and down. So I definitely get the Hanzo swap. But Kree is also better in cleaning up the point, right? Really big. Okay, so you see that Justice is holding a lot further back than Spitfire is. That's because instead of the Reaper, they have the Hanzo, so they have to like play it a lot slower and allow the Hanzo to like do damage from range, right? Where the Reaper wants to like hard engage in the choke, the Hanzo wants to spam a lot more. Okay. The Spitfire, they use both support us at once, and this is something I'm not a fan of. I think if you want to go aggro out of a choke like this, using the nano is good, but using the nano and the beat is like a lot, you know? I'd rather use the beat to save somebody than using it aggressively. This. Let's just get the choice here. Do we want to disengage from that, or do we just like keep fighting? Let's see what happens. Play the fight. Good Maywall, he ults. Questing gets caught. You see how the beat did almost nothing for them? I think they had to wait with the beat there. It was also a very good Stratus ult. Just didn't get eaten by Questing this time. But then raids happen. As we've talked about before, trades on 2 CP maps are very good for the defense. Mac charges out, he's out of there, dude. But yeah. Spitfire, like, we didn't like get a good engage that fight, and they back out. But what's the worst thing here is that Spitfire used free ults just to start off that fight, and they didn't get anything. And Justice only used their beat and their mail. They're like still ahead in ult economy, right? On these 2 CP attacks, you have to like be really clean with ult economy to cap. They can push, looks like. Or he's just spamming. Really good of the Spitfire too, that they wait for each other, they're clean, they keep Matrix and Corey, he doesn't pick anyone. Because if you get picked on a regroup like this, just get to build more of an ult advantage on you, right? You see how Weston is looking to contest Corey here? I think that's very good. Oh, he goes in with the bomb. I was wrong, he was setting up the bomb. It's like a pincer maneuver, right? They diva bomb for space, and then the rest of the team speeds in. Elevote is very on point here, and he already knows he wants to fly on the diva. And Elevote ends up killing Cleston before he remax. So this was so good from Elevote, right? Like, he instantly shuts down this push by killing Cleston. And this didn't get shown on the broadcast, but stuff like that is why Elevote is so good, right? Whatever that company plus there. Yeah, that's very situational awareness and a great move. Like, straight up win that fight. And then they also boost the ult. But at that point, like, the fight's already won, right? They didn't get value out of the diva bomb. They got walled, and Elevote just killed your diva. So again, they used like no ults there. Oh shit, like this is why Elevote was picked up. I mean, I would call it big shit. But again, like, Justice barely used any else. They only used the nano boost. So they stay ahead in ult economy. Spitfire used the diva bomb. And even the high noon, I think. Not like high noon is like that big of an ult. You know, it's the little thing. Corey's still on this off angle. And if he gets pressured, all he has to do is like walk climb up here, right? And he's safe. This is a good off angle he takes. Uses his ult. And this is like an insane wall, right? This wall, it shuts off Glister and Hylie. And then combining that with the Hanzo ult forces them to drop. And then when Spitfire is this split, it's really hard to still win. So what you saw Justice do really well is like bait out these walls. While Stratus now, he's like really patient with the walls too, and he's getting value out of these walls that Spitfire walk in with. And again, Justice, 1 ult each fight. They just used the Hanzo ult, so they still have an ult advantage. This is like really big. Like, had they used more ults that fight, if they just wanted to secure it, they would lose, right? So it's very smart to just start the fight with 1 ult, and then when you start losing, then you start piling on more ults, you know? Or if the first ult doesn't work, then you use the second ult. Where did you get the highlights from? This is the replay viewer. Okay, so Shui solo ult Stratus here. Stratus gets caught. He has to ice block. They solo ult him. Stratus is walled.
Oh my gosh.
Ice blocks. I don't think they need the mail to secure this kill. Like, he's still walled. He just used ice block. I think if you just walk at him and just like group up around him and punish whoever from the Justice walks in, you just win that. But now they like solo ult him. And I don't think that's worth the mail when the spawns are this close. Okay. Stratus is dead now, so Spitfire do have an advantage. Okay, now the Ryan. Ward drops because Stratus is dead, and then Glister gets picked. This is... Oh no. Glister got picked. So this is like the whole concept of why you want to play the Hanzo, right? It's to get these picks on rotations. Yeah, but he just gets picked by spam. Ouch. Like, that's rough there. Like, if he doesn't get picked there, Spitfire, you get to go to point and they get to take a lot of space. But yeah, it's the whole value in the Hanzo pick. And Corey is just so good at snipers. So it makes a lot of sense. Glister's dead. The Spitfire knows, hey, we have no damage. But them going for something here would be not good. And I like that they're playing passive. Maybe they wait for Glister and then they go. I think they can disengage a little bit more. But Glister's almost back. As you... Okay, so Glister's finally back. I like that they kept the high ground. But you see, Justice still has so many ults. Like, the ults were not drained at all. J-Mac goes high ground. It's a shatter on 2. That's a really big shatter from Roar. The J-Mac, but it's Roar. And like, they just used 2 ults again, right? Like, there's one more fight coming up for Spitfire. And I think in the last 5 fights, they've only gotten 1 or 2 ults from the Justice. Justice did good spreading out their ults, but Spitfire also needed to get more pressure on the Justice to force out more ults, right? Because that's the whole point. You need to force out these ults. Like Aim God has another nano boost coming out. They have 4 ults. Stratus still has the mail. So Spitfire needs to touch here to go main, and they get walled again by Stratus. Elevo forces Ice Block.
10 seconds remaining.
And Sanguinar uses beat. I don't mind this beat very much because they do need to get the point. Like they have to go really fast. The thing is that Justice just has so many ults left that it's really hard for Spitfire to win this fight after this beat. Questin 8 Stratus' ult. That is like, that could have been the saving grace for Spitfire. Watch how he eats it. They used the beat. Wait. And where did... What is going on?
10 seconds remaining.
There's no way I'm losing.
Oh, that's 25. I'll be falling there, yeah.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Shoot you down.
Thank you for the follow, 2-star. Okay, so you see how... Okay, so this is a really good example of what I was talking about earlier. As D.Va, it is so much easier to eat Mei ults than it is like Zarya ults. Because Zarya ults, the Zarya can force Matrix and then she can ult. But with Mei, the ult lasts so long in the air that you can toggle off your Matrix, and by the time the Mei ult hits the ground, you will almost have your, like, you will have your Matrix back up again, right? So you could like turn it off and then turn it back on again on the last second, and you can still eat it. So it's very hard for Maze to ult against really good D.Va. Yeah, Questing goes for backline.
There's no way I'm losing. Attack.
He sees Stratus. He Matrix his status. He turns off Matrix. Stratus throws it out. It's still on cooldown. Still on cooldown. Still on cooldown. Off cool. It was that close to being hit. Poor Stratus. That it was like an inch off the ground. But Questin played that really well. Like, yeah, he definitely low-key baited that. Sees it come out, he tracks it. You see the mail. This is in .25. Like, these players are doing that real time. 1.0 speed. It's so fast. So that was so well played from Questin and very good situational awareness to see that Stratus drop down here. When Zarya over D.Va? When D.Va can't eat every ult in the game. D.Va eats nades. D.Va eats Mayos. D.Va eats McCree ult. D.Va eats all the damage coming in. Like, Zarya might do more damage, but D.Va's utility and high ground control and Matrix is just so big. Thank you for the follow, Ever.
You better get out of
It's hand.
the way. Nerf this.
Trading one broken hero for another.
The cavalry's here.
Thanks for the follow, Sweetie. Right, and then after that, trades happen. Hylie and Sanguinar both die, so there's no healing available for the Spitfire, right? Like, if Justice can just stall after these two die, it's like, how do Hylie and Sanguinar even die? Hylie. I think there's an Ana behind him. Hylie, there's an Ana behind you. Someone call Hylie. He needs to turn up his sound. Let's watch him aim that POV here. That's funny. Dodges D.Va bomb. It's like, oh, what do we have here? On Ana. Let me nade the Ana.
This will help.
Let me miss a shot on the Ana. Let me miss another shot on the Ana. Let me hit a shot. Let me hit another shot on the Ana. Ali doesn't know what's going on. He's getting flanked. He needs to turn up his headset. You need some surround sound in there, my dude. Aim God's behind you, and he has a nade. Now, given if he had turned around, he probably wouldn't have won that fight either. But after the nade, I feel like he could have like went inside maybe, like of the big pack. Still, he did net out of the cream. But yeah, after you Ana, those fights are very hard to win. After that, this is basically like both supports. As long as Justice just gets someone on the point, good for them. Arc goes in for the kill. Shui even like goes out the point, but at that point it was over, right? Lost both supports. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the real juicy bits here. The real juice. We're gonna go to Dorado. The fastest map in the Overwatch League yet. This map, it'll blow your mind. But first,
Ready for battle.
I have to go for a pee break. So grab some snacks, get ready for this, because this is about to be crazy.
2. Ready for battle.
No, I will not hear it. I drink water. Greetings. I have privilege, this is true. We will screenshot this. That is an absolute genius idea. I'm very lucky to have access to these our replay viewer VODs to give you guys the in-depth. The in-depth on the matches early. And I'm glad you guys can be here with me. Also, I have 666 followers right now, so get me off this number of the devil and leave a follow. Thank you. File name. Let me get this tweet out and then we continue. Is it time? Yes, it is time. Be ready. Where do my files save? My dumbass. Second. Called Noob Sora's with computer. We found it. We've made it. Alright, let's get this going. Let me read chat real quick. I was distracted. Is it time? It is time. I was that follower number. You are the devil. Alright, let's get it going. I'm not ready to laugh yet. Give me a moment. That's okay. I've given you some moment. This is it. So this strategy was originally popularized by like Eagle Gaming and other teams that would use this red house to contest the cart. Spitfire has like made a new take on this, and they held like in this area right here. And I feel like Justice, they've scrimped this Widow comp a lot, but Widow does not do good when you're getting spawn camped.
One. Attackers incoming.
So first mistake Justice makes is not swapping off the Widow properly, like instantly, and swapping to like McCree, which kind of counters the Reaper comp. They get a big nade. That's a good nade here. Also, I don't understand why they swapped in Tuba. Either it was this is I swap you in because this is my home crowd, and that makes this very sad. Or it is I swap you in because we want to play Widow Pharah on defense, and we want Pharah, like Tuba on Pharah. But Tuba's May play was not great. So Shri gets a really good wall on the spawn right here. Corey's getting contested by Cleston because he's still on the Widow, and Widow needs to get out of spawn like a lot here. Needs his high ground. She cannot get out of spawn when you're getting spawn camp, right? Tuba goes for wall. I might swap to Tuba a lot here. Has Tuba won a map? No, he is not. Tuba gets pressured. Uses the ice block. He goes out of the ice block early. And gets slapped. Do not leave the ice block. And you are 100 HP. It heals you. You need to set yourself some keep. I used to have them, but I have not yet. I will fix this for next stream.
Time to raise my APM.
Okay. Playback on mouse was a must. Okay, I'll set it up right now. Jeez. I'm getting pressured here. It's because they made a new freeze down. Up. Because they need a new viewer. Don't understand why, but they did. There you have it.
Get through this.
Now, go up and down. Straight. Okay, so Corey swaps to the Bastion. And somehow, in a weird way, this does make sense. Because one, you can break the May walls in your spawn very easily, right? Bastion destroys May walls. So he can't get walled off very easy. And two, he can sit in the spawn and spam the enemy shield. So you see Bastion set up here shooting the shield. So I wonder why this goes completely wrong. So Tuba walls off the enemy team who are getting spammed right now by the Bastion. This is not an ideal wall.
Get into
So Bastion has to leave his setup.
APM.
They get walled. Tuba dies. I'm mind blown. Okay. So he walls off the enemy team. Which, I mean, I guess it's okay to get out of spawn because you can't get walled off now. He gets shot. He instantly un-ice blocks. And he dies. Tuba. Ice block lasts 4 seconds. You do not need to get out. Yes, yes, exactly, Gilbot. This must be stage nerves. Like, he just got in. There's no way he, like, doesn't, like, he presses that button in a scrim.
Time to raise my APM. Matrix activated.
Yep, she lasts for 40. And then your maze dead again. You have to reset. Corey swaps to the McCree. I like the McCree if you want to push out like that. Like how they just pushed out, I think the McCree works a lot better. Okay, so they go for the rotation around. Not bad. You kind of like this because Glister's sitting on the high ground here. So you don't really just straight up wanna push them in. Even with Stratus, they would have lost. I mean, Kubat did lose them 2 fights in a row, but you'd never know. That is true.
Get through this.
And the whole problem is that Spitfire got to build all of these ultimates. Corey goes on a flank for some reason. While they nano roar. J-Mac goes to 1 HP. John McClane. It's a big shatter just before he dies. This is like a big kill though, just because the Justice spawns are so close here. Trading for J-Mac wouldn't be bad at all. Corey ends up dying because he gets punished for his flank. See how Cleston punishes this flank. Like, this was really good from Cleston. Yeah, so first, he stops the flank from Corey. Then, he's like, Corey's gonna go back main. He flies on Corey and kills him when he gets shattered. A good shatter from J-Mac just before he died. And then, because Spitfire just lost 2 fights in a row, or they just won 2 fights in a row, they're very ahead on every ult that's building, right? So they get to use Mailed here, and this Mailed is massive. This Mailed is huge. Gets the whole Washington. So now J-Mac has to come back, right? But since he's Reinhardt, he gets to do 2 pins across the map, and he gets back pretty quick. Still, he's very far away.
Boosters engaged.
Spitfire don't say, hey, let's wait for J-Mac. No, they're like, we're spawn camping, guys. We're going in. We don't care anymore. We just lost 2 maps in a row. We gotta turn this around. This is like a big balls move. They're like, hey, Sanguinar, go pick him up, and they stay on cart. They're dangling their balls in front of Justice's face right now. Keep in mind, they're still 2 down. They're still just coming back. And having this Reaper above you must be like really rough for the Justice. So I feel like they should be pushing out high ground. Like Glister's been sitting here rent free. Glister's still sitting there. He does not get pushed out. Glister ults a backline, but he gets dominated. That was not a good ult. Here, does the Televote eat the ult? Die. Aim God hits him, uses the nade. And then he basically just dies to get out of Aim God, but because Glister was naded, he couldn't get the self-healing from the ult. Two minutes more of this, yes. Yes, you're not ready. And then War dies, Aim God dies, and they get their first 1.6 meters, guys. Get them 1.6. And then the card just rolls back into place. But the whole thing is, So for the Washington Justice, right, those first two fights, they got picked. Now this fight, they actually got a lot of ults out of the Spitfire. So now, when Justice has this much of an ult advantage, they have to win. Like, there is no way that you keep losing when you have a 4 ult advantage and they're right outside of your spawn. But we all know what happened. Like, we all know that this went wrong. But how it went wrong.
Time to raise my APM.
Tuba walls. He gets walled off himself.
Let's see you get past this.
He ice blocks. Does he again go out of ice block instantly? I think if he does, there has to be something wrong with Tuba's mouse. Oh, he does not. He stays. And yet, the team did not kill the wall. And they beat it now that Tuba's dead.
No.
He did not kill bot. You are wrong. And yet, they lose. Also, how does Cleston kill Corey again here? Cleston's had Corey's number on this Dorado's defense so well. So, Elbow protects Cleston.
Shoot you down.
Cleston tries to eat Stratus' ult, which were great. Go split yet.
No.
Corey's on a flank. Corey dies. I mean, if he leaves ice block like that twice. Why is Corey on the flank? Corey goes on the flank. Corey's still on the flank. When does Corey go on the flank and why? Okay, so Corey goes on the flank. This is a good flank. He gets a lot of value. Elevote's with him. They're trying to help Tuba. Corey just does not focus anyone, and Tuba's wall actually does not help Corey. Tuba's wall like kind of blocked it off, and he gets damage on everyone, but he doesn't like burst anyone down. And then Blister's in your house, and he's found a Corey, and so is Cleston. And then Roy uses Shadow in a lost fight. And yet, Justice still have a big ult advantage. They're supposed to get out of spawning. This is not a normal game. Corey randomly gets picked. Corey walks out of spawn and dies. Oh no. It's the death orb. He got skill orbed. But he also just walks way through it. Like, he needs to wait for his Reinhardt day. So Corey's dead. That's another 10 seconds. They're like, okay guys, Corey's dead. We can make a plan here. We can get out of spawn.
60 seconds remaining.
They go high ground. I feel like this is good because Glister's just been sitting here. And now they get to like push them out. They get to go in, right? Tuba walls. Overall, good wall. Also, Cleston's here, so maybe Tuba can get an ult.
Bunny hop.
Tuba ice blocks. Tuba comes out of ice block and ult. Tuba's ult gets eaten. And Shri actually gets his ult off. I'm starting to feel bad for this guy. Been on his PvP so much. But we're going .25.
Ice wall.
Oh, he walls the enemy team off. he kind of like jumps in. I mean, ice walling on engage isn't too bad. It stops the enemy Rhine from retreating. He ice blocks because he just jumped into 5 people on his own.
Let's see you get past this.
Okay, so he goes out of ice block. Shui ults first. Shui ults in his own wall. And Elevote is here. Did Elevote already use Matrix? Elevote has Matrix, so he could have eaten it. Elevote, what? Elevote didn't eat it. What? Wait. This looks like he ate it. We're going in the dot 25. Oh, he was too late. He was like half a second, like millisecond too late on the Matrix there. That's unlucky. And then Cleston does eat Tuba's ult. This is the fight. They used 5 ultimates. 5. And yet they're getting spawn camp.
I'm back in the fight. Defense matrix activated.
30 seconds remaining.
And Corey dies. Corey goes out high ground alone and he dies. Is the Reaper just next to him? No. Okay, so Corey's high ground. Weston sees this. Also, highly skill orbs Corey. So Corey's already taken some damage before Questing gets in. And then Glister also TP'd. So they had good awareness there that Corey was going for high ground. But I feel like Corey just being there without his team, like being anywhere near pressuring the enemy team, is just a mistake. Like, he should wait for his team to do something. They need discipline.
Time to raise my AP.
And they can't be tilted yet. Like, I mean, they might be tilted from the spawn camp, but they're 2-0 up in the series.
Routing power to forward shield.
10 seconds remaining.
They get the meters, guys. Elevote pushes the cart just a little bit. J-Mac gets a nice shatter and blocks the demon bomb. Tula dies again. Aim God was with him. Yes, that's true. But Aim God won't save Corey against free people. And Aim God wasn't with him when he walked out earlier.
Overtime.
Tuba gets shattered. Does he have ice block out? He does. It's hard to react to, but if you can react with ice block to shatter, that's really good. Like, you see Corey react with shift to shatter, that's also good. See Aim God react with shift to shatter, good. Just Tuba. Tuba didn't react. I mean, honestly, this was his first map, so it's hard. I mean, no one. I feel like you should only have this power when you're a GM team against a bronze team. The spawn camp this hard. This should not be happening now. Especially when the series was like hard won by Justice and it was 2-0.
Let's see you get past this.
4 meters.
Round 1 complete.
4 meters. What else need I say?
Attacker.
I feel like this match was more lobby time and waiting time than it was actual play.
I'm back in the fight.
Ah, and Justice is like, shit, we have to do the same thing now.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Spitfire's so ready.
Stop the payload.
They're like, we get high ground, we speed on them, we win the game. They speed, 2 hits nobody with wall. Aim God gets walled off, so that's a really good wall from Shui here. And then you go in. Cuba's block gets forced in like half a second. I don't know if he needed it that quick, but 170. Okay, he was getting frozen. So yeah. 4 dies because the healing just got walled off. Just push it. Elevate's contesting.
The payload is approaching its destination.
It's over.
Victory.
That attack was very fast. That was like a 10-second attack. Have you ever played an attack round and won in like 10 seconds?
Ready for battle.
24 seconds. Damn. That's crazy. Okay. At this point, the Justice needed to unboom. But they did not. They did not.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So it's normal Blizzard World stuff, right? Washington Justice holds on point. Yeah. The whole idea here on this Blizzard World defense is to play aggressive on the point at first, focus the enemy team's shield, and then as the enemy team comes in, you like bait them out a little bit so you can keep shooting their shield while they're in the open, right? See how Justice plays this. And that's a strategy that a lot of teams. So Cleston takes the high ground. This is really good for them. You get to like pressure roar. I was in the arena today for these games, but that's awesome. Did you have fun? I hope you were not a Justice supporter. I'm sorry if you are. Okay. So Justice decides to hold really aggro. Generally, I'm not too big a fan of this because I feel like you can draw the enemy Reinhardt out very far, and then you have this cover, and they have no cover on the point, right? So they do that. After they fill the wall, they do bait the enemy team out. We on the other end gets a good wall. I feel like this all comes down to like Stratus using that wall really early, right? I like how aggressive the Spitfire goes. Like now they actually have a wall to play against. The Toronto game was definitely, yeah. I'll review that later. Not today though. It's already 5 AM. EU times. But what is even going on with the Justice right? Corey's like, I'm on the flank. Cleston's like, you're not flanking, boy. I've seen your flanks. You click heads good. Corey shoots. He's like, Stratus wish wall. Okay, no problem. He's like, oh, Cleston's right side. I go flank. Cleston's like, I know you flank. You go way too deep on this flank. Corey is in Africa right now. An okay flank would be up here. You know, be where your team is. But you cannot flank like this. Especially when you're maybe when your Diva's with you. Sure. But his team is here. Easier. If a diva flies on him, he's dead. Or he's on the flank, guys. That is unfortunate. Or he hasn't learned like Carpe has. Yeah, what Carpe is really strong at is he goes for short flanks, where his team can help him. That was a tilt flank, though, I feel. And then your McCree's dead, so you just lose the fight. There's no way you win when your McCree's dead and fight.
Cheers, love. The cavalry.
Thank you for the follow, Sognor. I feel like Corey made this mistake often. He goes on. Yeah, I don't like that as McCree. I think if you go for long flanks, you need the team to support you, you know? And then, like, maybe the Diva's weak. But you can't go alone because the Diva can solo you out. The Diva should solo you out. Maybe if you have break armor, then you can go for that flank. But there's no break in the game, so. So yeah. Spitfire take that point off that pick. Pretty sure this is kind of their strategy. Well,
Objective lost.
if they play against a really good Diva, then that strategy is rough. Like when Carpe goes for a flank, he goes for very short flanks, where he can like roll back to his team very quickly. So I like that a lot. But if you go for flanks where you need like 2 seconds to get back to your team, it's hard. What happens here? So because Spitfire won first fight, they now have an ult advantage, right? They have the nano first. They get to be aggro. And they wall off Roar and they nano J-Man. This is a really good wall from Shui. This wall into nano. Oh, and then I think J-Mac gets stunned here by Glister. Need to play around Elevo. I mean, they kind of do. I think you can't really play around Diva. I think Diva needs to just make her own play. And Elevo did. And I think Corey's very skilled. So playing around him definitely isn't wrong. Good stun. Good wall. Overall, like a really good and quick attack from Spitfire there. And Justice didn't seem ready. Like, since that Dorado map, they feel like they are not ready to go anymore, you know? Like they're taking off their place at their own homestand. So this is a move I really like. So when you are ahead and you are snowballing, what you do is you leave the Diva on the cart and you send the rest of your team high ground, so that when Justice retakes, they have to first retake high ground and then they have to push the cart. No, I have not done Toronto versus Philly. I plan to do that at a later date on this channel, somewhere next week. But this game was so crazy I had to do this one. That game was also crazy, but like crazy good. This one was crazy crazy. There's a difference.
Cheers, love. The
Thank you for the follow, Faygooner. Okay, so you see Spitfire take the high ground to deny it from the Justice. If Justice just get to walk up and take high ground here, and Spitfire sitting on cart, this is very awkward, right? So taking this high ground is a good move. I would even like to see them maybe like wall up the high ground. Okay, so you see how Justice don't want to retake this high ground? Because like walking over this bridge and getting walled is like very rough. And it's all because Spitfire is setting up the snowball in a very good way. Like they're aggressive, they have their Diva pushing cart. Diva can rejoin the team like as soon as the fight starts with her boosters. So like holding this high ground is very good.
It's hand.
They high noon, they wall up Glister. This is what?
Draw.
I think they wall him up so he can't get walled off here. But Elevote eats it. Elevote did a good job there. And then Hylie gets a big nade. So nades like this are fight winning. Like Elevote had to focus his Matrix on the McCreo. And Hylie gets a huge nade here.
The pain is
Like that's insane. So he nades like 4 people on the enemy team. And now they get to like be super aggressive, right? Because the enemy team's naded. J-Max somehow is the only one that drops and he gets flipped. J-Max misses the pin. I don't know why he pinned. But still, Spitfire is being aggressive with all of their members. And J-Mac, John McClane. It's a massive shatter here. War got outplayed. I think. He still has a little bit of shield. His shield kind of got wrecked, but... Oh, his ping gets stunned. And then John McClane dominates him. Gets a big shatter. It's interesting that all of the Spitfire go back because of the choreo. But at least they're doing something all together, you know? Like I feel like maybe they could have killed War there. But at least they made this call and they all did the same thing. And that's very good. Like you see how big that team play is right there? Someone makes a call, everybody listens. Okay. But now Justice do get to retake the high ground. Really big for Justice too. When they were on the back foot of like that fight. Nano Roar. J-Max read that fire strike attempt. Yeah. That was a really good thing. I feel like it's you can't fire strike too much though when you know the enemy team has shatter. Because fire strike locks you in the animation. So the enemy team gets like an easy shadow on you if they have a good Reinhardt. Okay. The Shri gets a great mailed here. That is also mailed. Roar gets frozen. Stratus gets frozen. The Shri gets the better mailed here. J-Mac once again asserts his dominance over Roar. Locks his shatter. Even though he was nano boosted. Thoughts on Cleston? Honestly, he seemed good on the second half of the series. And he seemed to be really good at denying Corey. So I definitely see why he's getting played over Bernard. At least, oh, that's really good. Yeah, if you sleep the enemy diva, you get to set up the mail. But I definitely see why Cleston gets play over Bernard. I just haven't seen enough of him to like fully form an opinion. But initial thoughts is he did a good job of shutting down Corey for sure. And he ate a lot of mail. Questing is 2 of the diva balls. But while we're talking about him, he makes big plays. But Justice did use 5 ults here. So you see how that snowball on first and second like made them have this big ult bank for this last fight. Icosaurus, who do you think is the best diva in the league right now? I mean, we haven't seen a lot of divas play yet. So I'm not entirely sure. I think Choi Yobin last season, he set himself up to be like one of the best off tanks in the league. So if I'd have to be asked right now, I would still say Choi Yobin. But it's like we haven't seen enough play yet this season to like judge that accurately yet. Yeah, Poco has been performing really good, but Choi just hasn't seen enough playtime yet. So like, try and match that, you know? Like Fusion's has had 4 matches right now. That's a lot more than other divas, you know? Okay, let's see. So Glister uses the tempo high noon. I'm a big fan of these high noons because they create a lot of space for the team and forces the enemy team to react, right? So Stratus has to use wall here to block that. Corey somehow is getting 1v1 by Cleston here. How did this come about? Don't even know if Corey dies, but if he does, this is really bad. So Cleston is just
Cheers, love.
sitting on a
Cavalry's
flank.
here.
Thank you for the follow, Harzik. So Cleston is just like sitting on a flank because he knows this Corey guy. This guy, I've got him in my sights. He always goes for flanks. I will go kill him. So Corey hides from Deadeye, but he's already low. So Cleston like kind of catches him while he's low. Kills him because he pushes him in a corner. And when your McCree dies early in a fight, Spitfire just win off that, because even if Cleston loses mech here, that's a worthy trade. Like, I would trade my Diva for a McCree any day of the week. McCree is like 50 or 40% of the team's damage. Corey dies, Cleston dies, but that's fine. Like, that trade is good. Roar dies because Glister gets the free shoot. Oh, Glister gets killed by Elevote? How does that happen? Elevote, you absolute madman, trying to carry the Justice. So Elevote finishes off Cleston like he should. And then he gets stunned. He gets slept. He gets demeched. And he's... Wait. And he still kills Corey. Wait, I mean a Glister. What happens? Glister! Why did you get killed by a mini Diva? He knows, he's like, this Diva. Got her in my sights.
Hold up now.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Right click stomach. Good, he's still at 170 HP. Oh, he gets hit by an icicle, so that's already pretty big. He gets a nice headshot too. He misses a shot. He misses the punch. And he dies. But I feel like it was mostly the icicle hitting that got him. But still. I love Elevote. I think he's one of the top two. Elevote is very good, especially with the booster buff. He's like very aggressive and knows when to go in and when not to go in. I think Elevote and Corey have been like the sweet spots of the Justice. But Corey did not play good so far this season. He's been getting caught out. And then Corey swaps the Widow. Cleston is like, I know where Widows go. They go for the long flank. So Cleston's already in position to deny Corey. Cleston's been very smart, especially like this Dorado and this Blizzard World map. I think he really like grew into his play. Okay. So again, Cleston's still contesting Corey. So Corey cannot get a lot done here because Cleston's just sitting on him. And then Cleston doesn't overcommit, so he just keeps sitting on him. Top 3 L teams. In my opinion, it's right now, it's number 1 Shock, number 2 Rain, number 3 Philly Fusion. But yeah. Continue. Corey kills Shui somehow, even though Cleston is sitting on him. Corey still manages to like just get a pick. Very impressive. Cleston contests him. And Shui just peeks without like J-Mac having shield. I feel like J-Mac should have shield like here, because they should always win the shield war. Like J-Mac has got full shield. Thoughts on best mate? I don't think we've seen like insane maze yet. I think Erster is like one of the best maze. I think Rascal's up there. Ivy has definitely been setting himself apart.
Cheers,
Yeah.
love. The
Thank you for the follow, a raccoon ninja.
Shoot down.
So Shui dies.
Approaching its destination.
I like that because Shui dies. Spitfire instantly speed back. Play safe. I mean, I'm biased, right? I like everybody on the Reign. They're my friends. But I do think they're a very good team. J-Mac just absolutely clowns on Roar. J-Mac's like, you have my shatter. They're one down. And J-Mac's like, nah. I'm gonna do this. So he hides. Roar swinging. Roar fire strikes. J-Mac doesn't shatter because of the fire strike. Just goes out and shatters. Roar wasn't ready. Stratus, really good reactions. Well, ice blocked that. That was nice. But even if Roar gets shattered here, they still don't have a mate. So yeah, Roar does not get killed. Or he gets another pick. They have to reset. But that was not the end of the world for Spitfire. Like, they still have 3.5 minutes and they still have a good ult bank. And the whole thing about this Widow comp is, if you get a kill with the Widow, you win the fight straight up, right? That's the value of the Widow. She one-shots people. But if the Widow doesn't get a one-shot, I feel like the McCree provides more consistent damage, right? So you'll win the fight over time and you'll do more shield damage. So it's up to Corey here to get a pick while he's getting contested by Cleston. And it's up to Glacier to just to do consistent damage. And if Corey doesn't get the pick he needs, Justice is not looking like better with this comp, right? Corey does pop walls. I like what Cleston does here. Okay, this is like a very small tick, right? And you'll see, especially fair players do this a lot. But when they know the Widow's going to take a shot, they'll 180, right? Okay, just 180 for the Matrix there. But to avoid the headshot damage, you 180 and you take 120 damage instead of 250. So they're waiting out the walls here. I like this. You don't really want to push into the wall. It's very easy to get. Fix this Widow when you know where the enemy team is exactly. Plus thing goes up. So this is what I'm talking about, right? You get the pick, you win the fight instantly. You don't get a pick, and Spitfire is more likely to win the fight. So Highly gets picked here. You don't have any healing. Spitfire just has to speed boost out. Again, Cleston's looking to deal with Corey, but these are very long sidelines, so he can't just like fly on the Widow from Africa, right? So they need to gain some space first. Stratus ults, but I think Sanguinar gets a really good speed boost and gets everybody on the high ground and out. That's a really like early ult from Stratus, and he doesn't get the wall on anyone. Good is Corey doing on? He's doing good. He's had 2 picks or 3 picks so far, while getting pressured by Cleston, who's like constantly looking for him. We can look at some Corey POV, but the overall is like he is getting picks while getting pressured, and that's like the hard part as a Widow. Any Widow can just sit in a backline while not getting pressured and click heads, right? Any out Widow will do that, but the top Widows, they will click heads while they are getting shot at and while they are getting contested. And that is the hard part about Widow, I feel.
Routing turrets forward, taking off.
It's very impressive.
Time to raise my.
Moira comp over Morgana comp. I definitely don't feel that way. I feel like McCree counters Reaper very hard. And the Ana synergizes very well with D.Va. And nanoing your Reinhardt is really strong. Also, Diva eats Moira like balls, and the Moira ball is like her strongest ability, right? So I feel like the McCree Ana comp wins over the Moira Reaper comp by a long mile.
It's time.
So see, Corey gets another pick, even though Gleston is like right in his spawn looking for him. So this is like why Corey is so good. He just gets a pick there. And then I think he also kills Gleston. He gets 2 picks, like. Still really good on the winner picks. But because the front line for Justice is so much weaker, and Glister kills Duo the Deadeye before he dies, Spitfire just still get to push the card in. And hit the Nano Lucia. You see how picking Widow weakens the front line, but you can't get picked for the Widow headshot? Elevo eats the Schweel, but I think Spitfire fucked this out. Happy to see Toronto beating Fusion and Dorado playing dive. I mean, I feel like it was more of the Fusion getting caught off guard than it was dive being like better than a pretty mid. I'm just watching the cleanup happen. Something very weird has to happen if Spitfire wants to lose it. Since they're all sitting on the cart and getting that AoE healing from the Moira. But like the first and second point were not good from Justice. Like Oi got picked off a lot. Spitfire had good plans. And then they just snowballed after first point, right? And then the third point they pulled it together. But like it's a little bit too little too late.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. Ready for battle.
And then now Corey picks Hanzo. Does he actually? Go forward. He does play Hanzo. See, I'm a fan of Hanzo when you need to control high ground and you need to jump up and down, up and down, up and down. And of course it's Corey's signature pick. But when a point is so flat like this, the crease stun on the Reinhardt is like so key. Corey is playing in X Rammus. You see how Spitfire just LOS's him? They don't waste shield. Stratus goes in, but because there's no McCree, like stun on J-Mac, I don't think he's gonna die very quickly. Good counter wall. Question's in the back line. Question's covering Corey again. All Cleston does is sit on Corey. Cleston regroups with the team. But Elevo, meanwhile, he's 1 HP. He like went for the backline the same time Cleston did. But Elevo got focused really hard here. I wonder what happened. Elevo goes for backline. He just like a little bit further back. What happened? Yeah, he gets booped. Good boop. Sanguinar. And then kind of like overstays, doesn't land on high ground. And Glister like hits him a few times. Elevo goes low. So now they can't go aggressive, right? Because they need to heal up Elevo a little bit first before they make more moves. Oh, Elevo even gets D-Mac. That's really bad. And then J-Mac goes for a weird charge. What? Oh, Roar got slept. That's why he went for that. But he hit the wall. J-Mac. Roar gets slept. J-Mac goes for a pin. Oh, but he's like, oh, I'm too low HP. So he stops the pin. So actually that was not bad. Like, if he continued that pin, he would have died. I like to see him stop that pin. And because there's no diva, Justice just gets out pressured.
Team kill.
What a match so far. Jeez.
All systems check out. Game on.
Oh, how's it going? Oh, pretty good, fat man. The Lord Knight. That's a name. How are you? Let's see what happens here. So because Spitfire won the first fight, you'll notice they're like pretty far ahead in ult economy again. This is one thing that you've seen from this whole series where because Spitfire wins these fights, they automatically win the next fight because they get a lot more ult charge on the characters. Like their Lucio's further, their mage just a little bit further, their Diva's a lot further. And just because you're getting these ults a little bit quicker, that ends up doing a lot for you. It might not seem like a lot, but oftentimes it will do a lot. Also, Blister gets assassinated. Game was amazing. What happens? Elevote on Elevote antics. There's no way to just kill a McCree in his backline. Justice goes aggressive on JMac. Good wall here. Gratis, like a really good wall. It blocks off a lot. I think Hylie and Sanguinar must be hard focused on helping JMac here because he's walled. And then they kind of forget about Glister. Sanguinar misses the boop. And Art comes in with Elevote to kill Glister. So that was like a good multi-pronged attack, right? Where they send in everybody on JMac, and then while that's going on, they go hard for Glister in the backline. And then trading your Diva for the McCree, as I've said earlier, is really good. And then Elevote Mini Diva also kills JMac. But we know they lose this fight. So let's see what happens. Arc dies. He gets a big mail. Stratus dies. Or dies. Oh, Sui got a really good May wall there. Or May. Oh, I missed. Questin had everybody's number. Hit Corey's number too. See what happens on this side. JMac manages to disengage. And JMac dies. Corey gets attacked by Cleston. But gets healed up. Good job by Aimgot there. Arc dies. Arc dying there is bad, I think. Arc was in deep with Elevote. So 1 for 2ing for Glister is not worth it. Aim got D-Max Cleston, and then the Mayo comes in. This Mayo was like game changing. A really good Mayo. And then Cleston is just in the backline, Gatling with Mini Diva. And then the dying, but at that point the fight's over, right? So should we clutch up? Corey dies. How does Corey die? So they walk in together. What? What? What just happened? Made think does 150 damage, not 200. Oh, he's 105 health. Heal him. Heal Corey. Oh no. What? How does he get hit? Roar drop shield? What? That was very unfortunate. I feel like Aim God is still coming back from spawn. So one, Justice is walking out pretty fast, maybe? So Corey gets hit by Fire Strike. And then Corey gets hit by May Icicle. So basically, Corey's the most unlucky person in the universe. What you're telling me. First, this Fire Strike should have been eaten by Elevo. He was on a flank on his own. Not too bad. And then Ward drops shield. And Corey gets sniped. Wow. That is not lucky. And that's really bad, right? Because now what happens is Spitfire, you get to like farm ults again. Like they get to farm their May ult again and stuff. And then I feel like Spitfire make a mistake by nanoing the Binder. Like everybody gets out pretty easy. If that wall had been better though, maybe it would have been good. I feel like they did not want to use that nano. What happens next? Blister goes for an aggressive dead eye. I like this here because this is very open, right? You force them to hide and reset for the next 6 seconds.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh, they also wall him up. Very good. He shoots, it gets eaten by Elevote, nice eat. But overall, like that forced wall and it forced like decision making from Justice. So I like proactive plays like that. Especially McCreel. Not the best ult in the game. But Justice has 6 ults coming up here. So now Corey ults. Gonna get walled off. Stratus walls. Okay. But they're speed boosting. So everybody just speed boosts out. That was not a good ult from Stratus. Especially when they were high nooning.
Draw.
But high noon does kill Cleston, so that's good. But Cleston ults and then Stangonar also beats. I feel like that beat. Then J-Mac is the fatty shatty. J-Mac's a limp. Justice did have like the second beat, the later beat there. So if J-Mac doesn't hit that shatter, that fight's hard to win. But your boy J-Mac comes in clutch. Right. That's basically this map.
10 seconds remaining.
Nerf this.
Oh, Elevo goes for an aggressive ult, which does hit Sanguinar. So that's a good start to that fight, right? Like, they touch and he gets a big ult. It's like the best you can get when the time you're that close. Clested also goes to 1 HP. Gets demacked. This start of this fight was really good for the Justice. Roy gets soloed out. Which I mean the rest of the team had to touch, so that's okay. Stratus also gets soloed out. But still, Corey just killed Glister. They should not lose this fight. Arc goes in aggro. Arc. Please do not die. Corey and Aimgot are high ground. Arc keeps going aggro. Arc gets out. But Elevo dies with mech because Corey and Aimgot have been high ground, but they haven't been doing a lot. They've just been getting LOS. Maybe if they go a little more aggro there, so it's better, but it's hard to call. Stratus kills J-Mac. Stratus dies. This point is cleaned up for Spitfire. Damn.
Victory.
Justice is not getting the value out of their ults they want. Like, their Mei ults are not getting as much done as Shui's Mei ults are right now. And they were 2-0 up in this series. And they just tilted off that Dorado map. That Dorado map was insane. Never seen a map like that. Not even in my quick play games. My good sir, in your opinion, why does NYXL lose to Philly? So I did a review on this yesterday on my Twitch. But I felt that Philly was really strict with their ult economy and very good with their ult usage in that game. And Poco did a really good job of eating Mei ults and shutting down the enemy McCree, while Carpe wasn't shut down as well. So it's ult economy and Carpe being able to like get very small flanks and getting picks in fights won them the game, I think. Also, Funny Astro's beat usage is like the best in the league right now. If you're a Lucio and you want to know how to use beat, watch him. He's really good. Go back a little bit. Go back more. We go back more. What's going on here? Okay. Well, so I feel like the strat here for Spitfire was, hey, we're gonna go main with 5. We're gonna send Plestin on a flank because we think Corey is going to flank, or maybe play Widow. And then when Justice was all grouped up, I feel like the plan became, hey, let's speed boost in with our 5 people and let's have Plestin come in on the flank. But what ends up happening is Stratus walls off the 5 people and then they just kill Plestin. So this is one good from Justice, but I feel like you don't want to flank with your like that. Like, especially because you also can't eat fire strikes anymore. Roar should be getting really big fire strikes for the entirety of Spitfire when the D.Va is in there. So now the D.Va's dead.
The objective is now active.
Wall. Elevo goes on point. There's no D.Va to contest him. He's just free right now. Like, there's no way to just kill him from here. So he gets the cap point, which is really big for him. Also, because D.Va's not back yet, and they get the sick wall. Win this fight, Sanguinar gets a really good boop on Roar. Messes up his charge. But J-Mac still dies because of that great wall.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Yes, love. Just as again, they hold pretty far back. Clested is like, if Corey's on the flank, I will deal with him. Starts on an off angle. Which has worked in the past, but now that Corey's playing with his team, this hurts his team, right? Because Roar gets to have really big fire strikes. Like, because Clested is always away from his team, Roar has 93% to ult, but J-Max 41. That's not just from fire strikes, but I feel like it's a big part of it. Okay, so now Cleston's grouped up back with his team. I feel like Justice is like so passive here. I feel like they're afraid to do something. Even though they have like an ult advantage. But they nano the Reinhardt.
Nothing.
I think this is a mistake from Spitfire. They probably wanted to nano the Rhine, but they made it. Watch that. Let's watch that in dot 25.
I have your back. My ultimate is almost ready. You're powered up. Get in there.
Doesn't really seem like it. Not sure, but that's a good sleep. Elevote. Oh my god, you guys need to watch this. Elevote is playing Super Mario Party and he's Goomba stomping on the enemy team. What are you gonna do? You guys need to look at this. This is beauty. Gonna play some Mario Party right here. He gets started. He gets on top of the enemy team. He's Goomba stomp. He gets on top of Reinhardt. He also Goomba stomps him. He's playing Mario Party. Elevote's in my house. And he's playing Mario Party in Overwatch. It's not fair.
Time to raise my APM.
And yet, the Spitfire win this match. Arc gets slept. Arc gets dominated by a sleep from Highly.
It's hand.
Then, where's this High Noon? Boy High Noons, but Stratus walls him off. Not the play.
Draw.
Okay, he still got Cleston. And Glister dies. But then Shui gets another huge mail. So Shui's been getting, in the second half of this match, he's been getting really big mails. And Stratus has it. Like, again, this mail from Stratus, Shui can just ice block it. Oh, he doesn't have ice block. Idiot. I'm an idiot sandwich. But, still, like, that mail from Shui basically got them 2 kills.
Game on. I'm gonna shoot you down.
I feel like that mail from Stratus is worth it to just secure that kill when the enemy Mei doesn't have ice block. So it's not the end of the world. Especially because they have control of point and they are basically 100 to 0. Wow! Did you guys see that? So J-Max shatters, Stratus and Elevote outplay this really hard. What is going on here? They read him like a cookie. They read him like a book. Elevote, first he saved the Arc.
You're going to be okay.
Elevote did not want to win this game, by the way. Really did not. Tried so hard. And then he reached J-Mac like a book. Stratus, he ice blocks it. So, in theory, a good shatter from J-Mac there, trying to get 2, turns it to 0 because of the mobility and utility of these characters. And then Glister dies, that's a really good pick. I don't know how Spitfire loses. J-Mac gets nanoed, but he has to hold shield because Mei exists. Roars in the backline with Arc and Aim God. Aim God gets booped by Sanguidar. Really good. So they just split up. I feel like if all Justice was on point here, they just win. But because they split, Aim God gets booped. And then Clisted also like stalls point even more. Now they have no heals, right? Because Aim God is dead. Riley dies. That's really big for the Justice. And there's still 4 on point. Riley's dead. Justice goes aggro. Shui almost has another male, so that's really big. Roar gets nanoed. but Aim God dies in the backline to Doomfist and the Diva, who have a really good dive on him. So that will turn it, right? If the Ana dies, there's no heals. He does get the nano boost off on Roar, but once again, he can't swing because Mei exists. Corey also died. Corey gets booped too by Sanguinar. Sanguinar popped off this round. Kree dying is like the biggest thing. Like, Kree needs to clean up this point for the rest of his team. But he tries to help his team, and he gets booped. Sanguinar, holy crap.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
That was really good. Like, that swung that fight so hard.
To raise my APM.
And then Justice needs a retake. Which, I mean, they do have like 2 fights left, right? So it's not like this is a lost fight now. Or a lost point. Spitfire do have like the defender's advantage here, and they have the ult advantage. And then Justice goes for this really long rotation. Oh, because they're trying to get Glister from spawn. So I remember this, right? Glister, he goes back to spawns and swaps. And then Justice is like right here. Like, hey, maybe we can catch Glister on his rotation at point. But they get there like a second late. So Glister's already out just before they get there. So it was like a good theory. They were just a little late on the rotation there. Really unlucky. Because I would have liked to see that work out. Back with the team.
Time to raise my APM.
And then Corey goes for a flank, but he gets shut down like a hard. Good thing Elevote's with him, otherwise still Weston like chase him down. But the team helps him. But now they're split, right? Like, look at where the Justice is. Gratis and Roar over here, and then the rest of the team is over here. It's like really rough. Like, Roar can't do anything, right? Just gotta hide. And then Gratis goes in with the mail, which is good because Weston's out of position. But again, speed boost. Speeds everybody out of the mail. And Mei ice blocks, which outlast the mail. Weston ults, and they beat. And then Sanguinar boops Roar. Sanguinar's insane. He's got like 3 fight-changing boops right now. And I think next fight he boops 2. Sanguinar popped off this round. Like, Elevo popped off earlier, but now it's Sanguinar town, baby. He's out here. This is a player I've not heard or followed a lot. But in a map 5, he's showing up on a Paul Sanctum. Okay. So Justice decide to like all retake together this time. They have a pretty sizable ult bank. Like, they almost have the nano, they almost have the beat, almost have the devault, they have the shatter. So this could be a really good retake for them. Like, as long as they get the contest point and they get some space here, this is good. They wall off, so this is a good wall because it walls off Aim God. And then Justice like walk out, they don't grab that much space, they wall themselves in. And because they don't take that much space, Spitfire engage really hard. I don't know if I like that. Like, you are 7% off. You need to take space here, so Elevote has an easy combo point. Roar, it's a big shadow on a nano J-Mac and a Shui. But they don't kill Shui. And then Sanguinar boops too, like I said earlier. Sanguinar, huge here. If he does not boop too, then Shui probably would have died because he's shattered, right? Like, look at this. That's huge. Like, this just wins him the fight straight up. Or he is dead crab.
It's
Overtime.
Candle, Corey, candle. So from 100 to 0 for the Justice to 100 to 99 for Spitfire. I swear this match couldn't have gotten any crazier.
1.
What is happening? I went too far. Alright. Nepal village. Oh, I remember this first fight. This was crazy. So I feel like the Justice have been tilted. Can't help but feel like they have been tilted here. Because look what happens. They get the later rollout because Spitfire uses teleport and then the Reaper teleports after them. Good from them. And then War walks out, gets walled, and instead of like staying and playing passive and waiting for his team to break wall, he drops and he like plays forward, and then he also does not counterpin the pin, so he just gets dominated. Like Reaper isn't here yet. If he had stayed with his team, the wall would have been broken now. But instead he like walks out and he goes to Africa. Like there's no way that War does this in scrims, right? Like he knows he's walled. Or he should know he's walled. And if he just stays with his team, they would have helped him. There's no way he gets that pin and he can even counterpin the pin, right? And then they win that fight. And now Spitfire gets like positional advantage. I do like what they do here though. Force spawns back in and they go straight to point.
Routing towards forward barrier. Get through this.
Elevo gets the contest point before it opens. Glister is on point though. So Stratus tried to like wall off the people going to point, but Glister did get the point. Glister's scared. He needs to take this fight with Elevo, not run. Oh no. Shift gets forced. And then he dies because the shift is forced. That was a good wall from Stratus, but I also feel like Glister could have played that a lot better. Aimbot came in with a pretty good nade. And then they still capped the point.
Time to raise my APM.
Force. Then he comes back in. And this is where Koi pops off, I think. Let's watch him Koi peel. Double face. You would have killed him too, but good matrix from Celestin. So basically killed the Vito mech. Gets nanoed. Use the McCreel while nanoed. And misses Sanguinar. If he had killed Sanguinar 2 there, 10 out of 10 play. Now it's 8 out of 10. Sanguinar does end up dying. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. And retaking this is like hard, right? Because Justice have the McCree, so they get to like play range a lot more than the Spitfire do. So all Justice have to do is like kite Spitfire around and make sure that they don't get flanked by the Reaper while still playing together. Because in a straight up fight, if McCree can get the flashbang on the Reaper, they win that, right? So. So Spitfire go high ground here. But as I said, like with range, McCree does a lot better than the Reaper does. So Justice end up dropping a point. Good move, because as I said, they play better at range. But then Shui gets a way better wall than Stratus does. Like if Stratus had walled this off, had managed to like put Shui, just Shui in, that would have been a great counter wall, right? But now, this is bad. Because Aim God, Ark, and I think Koi too, hold off. Blister's Wraith somehow gets forced. Blister gets chunked by Elevote, like chunked. They used to shift. That's like a lot of their damage because Reaper now doesn't have Wraith. That was good. Corey goes on the flank. Again, these are very long flanks by Corey, so if he doesn't get a pick, he just gets shit on by D.Va. And he doesn't. Highly lives. But Corey does get out. So good move from Corey to back out in time there. Ult. Heavy from Spitfire managed to disengage from Status Assault. So they did a really good job saving speed. And I feel like this has been a theme, right? I feel like Spitfire has done an incredible job of saving speed for the mail from the enemy team. So they can speed everybody out and nobody gets frozen. And that's part of why Stratus got so little value from his mails. Let's just keep rolling. Boy flanks again. And kills highly. So his flanks have been like more successful on this map than they have been. But then Justice gets the later beat. Generally when the enemy team aggro beats and you can counter beat, you are likely to win a fight because you just got more effective health than the enemy team because they're engaging on you. It's like Spitfire beats, they get 600 HP, it takes them 2 seconds to go in. So that 600 is now 300 HP. And then Justice beats and they get 600 HP, right? So like, Justice gets more value from their beat because it's a little bit later. As long as nobody dies while the Justice beat is not cast yet, of course. Okay. But like, that's a really bad fight for Spitfire because they committed ults. They did cap the point admittedly, but still they used their mail, their beat, and their devote. And Justice of course used even more, but they now have the defensive advantage. And it's very even in percentage.
It's high noon.
Routing out. Forward shield.
Draw.
I think High Noon gets the D.Va mech here. Well, let's see how that happened because I think Koi just barely gets him. But this was like very good wall up by Stratus on Koi while he's walking, and then Cleston is like trying to matrix the ult, right? But his matrix just runs out. Right here. So then Koi gets to shoot and damage other people. So that's a really big value McCreel. Getting the D.Va mech like that. They nano Death Blossom, and then this is what tilted me. Yeah, we're gonna look at this slow-mo. Because the Nano Blossom was great. But if we look at J-Mac here, after Elevote ults, Nano Blossom, right? Keep watching. He turns his shield to not cover Glister anymore. And Glister and Sanguinar both died to an ult they should not have died to. Watch it again. Because they would have won this round if it wasn't for this not block. Elevo just like strolls in, uses no. Die. And then all J-Mac needs to do, just go here and stand still. Just stand still, J-Mac. Just stand still, J-Mac. And then he turns it, and everybody dies to the Diva Bomb. J-Mac, you make me sad there. He played so well on Blizzard too. And then he shatters too. No. They would have won that fight. But I mean, it did go to map 3 on a map 5 because. Thank you, J-Mac. Thank you, base J-Mac. Again, like all Spitfire can do is go to point here, and they have like 0 ults coming up. So this is like one of the hardest fights to win. The Weston goes in, but he just gets chunked. Like he goes really early. I think he tries to bait the wall, but Glister gets shift forced, right? So they have to use so many cooldowns just to get to the point. That all Justice have to do now is use their wall on the point and win. I don't know if they do, but you end up walling. It's not great. It has like gaps in it. Side. It's still a good wall. You can't just walk through easy. And then J-Mac dies into the wall. That's that. So thank you, base J-Mac, for giving us this map 3 and a map 5 series. Wow. What a series so far, right, guys?
Ready for battle.
And this was the Justice homestand, and they were 2-0 up. And then they get held at the Dorado spawn. Alright, let's watch this. So Spitfire goes the longer side, right? And Justice goes the point side. I think there's something to be said for both sides. And because the point doesn't unlock for so long, you have a lot of time to spam for the Spitfire, and there's a lot of cover here. And there's the health pack, might you need them. But there is also a lot of cover on point, and the enemy team is pushing to you. So I think for both sides, like this isn't like a disadvantage.
Routing power to forward barrier.
See, they end up playing pillar anyway. The Stratus goes for a wall to block off the healing. But I feel like Kylie has a relatively easy time circumventing the wall. And the rest of the Spitfire are already in. Then Hylie hits a nade on Arc and Stratus. Good nade. And then on the return, Shui gets like a really good wall, which doesn't wall anybody off, but it does put Justice in a really big choke. J-Mac goes to 1 HP, but lives.
The objective is now.
I feel like if Elevo had committed just a little harder on J-Mac there, he might have died. But overall, like, look at the health bars from Spitfire. There's no way they can heal this up before they take too much damage to die, right? So overall, that fight was like headed pretty well by the Justice. And like winning first fights on Kopf is so important. You get to build the ult advantage, right? Like you get the Ana ult first. They get the Shatter first. They get the McCree ult first.
Ain't no stopping me.
Late. What? Aim God, what is that nano? No! They're like 4 up. Aim God did not need the nano. Oh no. Corey is low. Oh, Corey gets stunned. Maybe Aim God's a god. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm the stupid guy.
I need a
Okay,
doctor.
so Corey is 60. He's full HP. Corey gets stunned.
I need a doctor.
Aim God's a genius. I'm the idiot. Aim God saves Corey with the nano boost.
Ain't no stopping me.
And then they push in. But Rory gets walled. They go a little bit too
Cheers,
deep.
love. The cavalry's
Thank you for the
here.
follow, Lady Maria. Oh, wait, Hailey dies? How does Hailey die? Hailey goes high ground. I should look for the nade, I guess. But he peeks way too long. And then he gets double headshot. I get that he was looking for the nade, but that's taking a little bit too much risk, I think, the rest of you.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's
Thank
here.
you for the follow, Smudgy. Wow. And then Corey gets walled. He needs to like back up. J-Mac gets a pretty big shatter. But Corey lives. Corey lives because Elevo gets like the biggest matrix I've ever seen in the history of matrixes. Watch this. Corey gets an nano boost. Take high boost. It's really big. 4 dies. Corey peeks back into the shatter. And then, because of this Elevote matrix, Corey doesn't take a lot of damage. He goes to 30 HP, instantly gets healed. J-Mac goes for the pin instead of the swing. And then he stuns everybody. Meanwhile, he's still getting pocketed. That Corey lived there is crazy. Elevote, pog you. That was really good, mate. And then because Corey lives and Hailey is dead, they just win this fight. Reset. It's high noon. Both teams mirror high noon here. Which, I mean, high noon is very well used as an early fight ult just to create space for your walking. And to break the enemy shield. I don't think high noon should be used for kills very often. Corey walks like up really far with the high noon. They get walled off, so this is a really good wall from shooting. I think.
Draw.
But they do end up nanoing Corey, which he did need. Because he was about to get swung on by a nano Ryan. Or just a normal Ryan. But Corey still ends up dying? Did he still he had the nano boost, right? What? How does Corey die with nano? Ult? Very aggro ult.
Draw.
He ends up getting eaten. Good job, Cleston. He is nanoed. Gets swung on. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. The Rhine is nanoed. Corey was never nanoed. I'm sorry guys, it's 6:30 AM here. My brain is mush. So Corey was never nanoed, and that's why he died. Because he didn't have the nano. So who is nanoed on? Oh, so Glister's the one that's nanoed. I see. Both teams use the beat. Roy gets a really big shatter. free man, but the beat is still active. And Corey is also dead, so there's no way they can like capitalize on it. Meanwhile, Elevo's trying to play Goomba Stomper again on the Mario Party. Gratis gets a good mail. Doesn't end up getting anyone because they're lacking a damage because Corey is dead. And I feel like when your McCree dies, being the Justice, they should have used no ults at all. So we'll go back in a bit to rewatch this fight to see what ults they used. But this was a fight. This was the game losing fight. Like, they used so many ults after Corey died. Like, they stall more, but I feel like just taking the 60% and losing the fight is like way better than this. Okay. So now finally Spitfire kept the point. But let's go back in that fight because I think this was the game decider, right? This Corey ult, fine. Like, it's early in the fight, no one's dead yet. But once Corey dies, we need to start counting. Okay, Corey dies. They still have 4 ultimates. And I think if they just hold on to these ultimates and use them for a retake, they win the game. But because they waste them all in an attempt to like revenge Corey, they lose. Art beat, which maybe was to save Corey. So I don't think that beat was that bad. And then Roar also shatters. And then Stratus also nails. I just think after your McCree dies and you're ahead like this, you reset. But again, it's like a high. It's so tense. Like, they're at their homestead. It's map wide. It's match free. They're tilted. It's hard, but when you're up on the L stage, you know, you also get judged like you're an L player. So if Justice hold on to their ults there, they're likely to win the match. But they use a lot after Corey dies. It doesn't end up coming back, getting a pick, but a little too late. And Elevo touches a little too late, still gets out. That's a nice flight path. Okay. So Justice go high ground here. They go high ground. Stratus gets picked. That's really bad because now Spitfire probably doesn't have to use any else to win the fight. Like, so Justice gets no ult advantage built by this fight. And then right now Justice should, like, there's no way they stay. Okay, good. They get out, right? Nope, they don't. Roar stays and he gets walled. Oh no, and then Roar dies too late. Oh, Roar and Ava die. But this is just feeding Spitfire more ults, right? Like, they have to use Shatter, but now they've built the May ult again. Close to beat. Or he dies late. So just Shroud getting picked means a 20%. And it means they get no ults except for the Shatter, I guess. Even using the Shatter there might not have.
Get through this.
But now Spitfire's up to 50%, right? It's probably like only one fight left. That's like how fast this goes. So that's how monumental it is that Stratus got picked there. And how monumental is it that they used all those ults that one fight because they still don't have their male and beat like even above 50.
Routing tower to forward barrier. I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Time to raise my APM. Get through this.
Okay. So Justice comes in. Elevote goes for a flank on Glister, right? While Elevote does this, the rest of the team needs to go on J-Mac. But Arc isn't there to speed the team in. So like they kind of go on J-Mac, but he gets nanoed. And then Roar gets walled and he dies. They need to reset now. Roar just died. You kind of get the reset. That's good. But this last contest, so hard, and they still are only 70. So since that one fight, the Spitfire have gone all the way up to 100%, but Stratus is still only 75. Says Mayo, which is the most important note in this top, right? Like it's the most game fight winning one.
It's high noon.
But that's really rough. Like if they had not used those ults that one fight, oof. But again, it's high pressure. Okay, so Glister ults, Elevote eats it. Elevote does get punished, but he had to touch, right? And then Shui gets his ult, like gets a big one because there is no Diva to eat it. Roar gets frozen. Stratus has to touch. And I think Roar has the biggest shatter ever here. This blew my mind. I need J-Mac POV. Oh, so his shield gets broken completely. I feel like as a Ryan, you always want to keep like 200 shield up, so you can block a shadow like this. And then Roar hits the big one, the game-changing one, the fight-winning one. He gets everybody with shatter, and Stratus ults, which I mean, it's so high density situation right now that I understand. Ideally want to keep that mail, but I get it. And then they also nano boost. But like they stack up really hard, which is bad. But they do just need to win this one fight, and they do have beat. Spoiler, they don't. They don't. But Roar did come up clutch there. So we see what happens. The last fight of this amazing game. Or he gets picked. And just like that, the game's over. See some Corey POV. Because this must feel bad. He's the carry of the team. He's the McCree. And then, because Roar drops shield, and like they're just spamming, Roar has shield up, but he does not have it over Corey. Oh no. This loses them the game. Or puts his shield back up. He walks away. Corey dies. That hurts. That must hurt. Like, you played your heart out this match. You put in your heart and soul to try and win this match in front of your home crowd. And then you end up losing the final fight of the match. Some random spam because we didn't hold shield and we peeked a little too long. And then your Crae's dead and then you have no damage. So I like that they go really aggro the beat. Like their only way to win is like just kill Reinhardt instantly. But he doesn't die. 1 HP he doesn't die. And there's no McCree. Or he comes back in space and it's too little too late. Oh wow. Wow. And that's how you go 0-2 at your own homestand. in the most crazy game I've ever watched. It's probably not the most crazy game I've ever watched, but it was definitely crazy. So recapping, if Justice hadn't used all their ults that one fight, they would have won at their own home stand. If Corey hadn't gotten picked in the final fight, they would have won their own homestand. Roar first wins the game with Shatter, and then he loses the game. Anyway, I want to thank you guys all very much for watching and sitting through this long VOD review with me. It's been 4 hours, but I really appreciate it. Leave a follow if you have not already, and then we will see who we're going to host. I will be doing more VOD reviews in the future, probably throughout this week and then next week after OWL as well. But let's see. Oh shit, nobody that I follow is online. We have to go into the search bar for Overwatch. Excellent analysis, coach. Thank you very much.